Just got back from running 3 miles on the treadmill, took a shower. Oh, yeah, smelling good, I'll be Hollywood. So I'm going to go I got some hot tea that's going up there, so I'll be getting out here in just a second, pour my hot tea. So just hang tight. Actually, no, I'm just going to take you guys with me. Let's just go together, shall we? Hey, oh, boy. You got, oh, boy. So because the wife and the kiddos are not here, when I do anything where I can't keep my eye on Bungleberry here, he grabs something. Hi, look at that. Yep, he got something from my gym, and now he is proceeding to chomp on it. So now we're going to go into the pantry and grab me. Ooh, look at these guys. I cannot tell you how many freaking cherry tomatoes I'm at. Just freaking cherry tomatoes come out of every aspect of my bod. It's nuts, man. I got cherry tomatoes everywhere, and I love cherry tomatoes. You just eat them just eat them. They taste so good. Mix them with a salad. And I got some kale. I got some Swiss chard growing. Got some lettuce growing. Cherry tomatoes, regular tomatoes. Got some peppers. Oh, that's a good salad right there, my friends. Hope you all had a chance to watch my video when I interviewed old Gladys from my neck of the woods about what's going on in Cuba. Not the best audio. Not sure if that's on her end or my end. I don't know, but it's good enough. You could definitely hear it. That was good. So now it's just old Josh. Hey, John. Que paso, man? And all right, so I was going to grab something else real quick. Hey, Mark. Que paso? Tip the hat to you, Mark. Raise your glass. Some red Kool-Aid. I had some red Kool-Aid when our oldest was born. Kevin, John, Denise, and this is when we lived in Phoenix. This is when we had our 2 other dogs, Stout and Emma, and we had these pictures done up of Maddie, and anyway, so we had them all laying down on the coffee table, and we lived in like some crappy old 1-bed, 1-bath house in Phoenix, 1-bath house in Phoenix, like 700 square foot or something like that. 2 dogs, me, Shar, and Maddie, and I had some red Kool-Aid sitting on the coffee table in between all the brand spanking new pictures of Maddie that we spent big bucks for, which we really couldn't afford. But, first baby and whatnot. And then Emma, who's kind of like Finn, and Stout is kind of like Pablo. She like ran off to do something. I can't remember. And I jumped up to get her and I knocked the red Kool-Aid over. And it went all over the carpet. But you know where it did not go? It did not go onto the pictures of Maddie. Tell me that's not freaking, Tell me that's not nuts. Shar was pissed. I said, yeah, I know I got all over the crappy old carpet, but it did not go on the pictures of Maddie, man. Isn't that crazy? 55 retired, right? Tipping back the rye old fashioned. Right on, man. Yeah, how can the Cubans overthrow the communists without weapons? Well, what happened? I mean, literally, what happens is, and this is what always happens in these places. Hey, thanks, John. Yeah, Elaine was fantastic. I'd love to get her back on. She has a different political view than I, so I'm open to take anybody on. I have a sneaky suspicion she might be hesitant to do that. And I'm just putting that. She has never said that. I know she's from the left, and a lot of lefts, especially in the Seattle area, are just not tolerant. And I'm not saying this about Elaine. I'm not saying it about Elaine, but given our political differences, I'm hesitant to ask just because the left comes at, like the right. We don't go after people. And so the left, if you're on the left, one of your top concerns is to stay friends with those on the left, if that makes sense. And that's why Glenn Greenwald, Dave Rubin, when he's a lefty, Bridget Fedesi and all these people, that's why they go, Brett Weinstein, Eric Weinstein, these are not right-wing people. And Dave Rubin would be more right now, but that's why they go to when they go on Fox. Hold on a sec. That's why when they say anything that doesn't toe the left-wing line, the left doesn't want anything to do with them. And so the only people they can go to is Fox News. And the minute they go on Fox News, then they get, they're like leopards, like, oh, we can't go with you because you're on Fox. I'm trying to say nothing tonight. I have to self-destruct this video, by the way. So I'm trying to be a good boy. But anyway, so that's why they can't, like, the left is so intolerant. It's actually insane. It's sad. For them, they can do whatever they want to do. It doesn't bother me. I could care less about leftists. But what I'm saying is that they're just so self-absorbed and like one upping each other on leftism that if a guy like Glenn Greenwald goes on Fox News, he's forever banned from any other thing because they say, "Oh, you're on Fox, you're a right winger." He's like, "Dude, it's crazy to me. It's crazy." And anyway, so the problem is if Elaine Floyd, and I'm just using her for, I do not mean this against Elaine Floyd. My concern, I've been told no enough times by a couple of leftists to come on my channel that I'm self-conscious about that, frankly. And it's weird to me. Like, because if you come on my channel, you'll be like partnering with the Nazis. That's literally the way they look at it. It's just the weirdest thing. That's okay, whatever. So I'm kind of, I don't know. It's one of those things that, it is what it is. It's weird. So anyway, I've been chastised. It's like you get burned twice. Like, I'm just not going to go down that road, which is kind of sad in a way. It's actually sad too in a way too, because I was talking to a guy today, and it's like, man, this whole thing with like blacks and whites and freaking everybody, it's like we didn't even like, just in the 80s, people just used to joke and smoke. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like, I don't know if I can say anything because I don't want. What if this guy says this or this guy says that? And you're like, no one wants to. It's like no one wants to go anywhere because they just don't want to be bothered with controversy. So you can't say anything. It's nuts. And it's just sad, man. It's sad. I got some guy. What did this guy say on my YouTube? So check this out. I'm going to show you. This is freaking insane. I sit there and my mind is so boggled at this kind of attitude. It's like, how do you stop? Now, I will say I'm actually pretty optimistic. The more Sniffy Joe is in office, the more optimistic I am because, not because him, but because let me stop here. Let me show you what I'm talking about here in just a second. All right. So I'm going to go to this, I'm going to show you on my community section. Hold on just a second. I'm screwing this up. All right, my channel right there. You make me feel like dancing, because dancing not away. All right, there we go. So we're going to show you. I don't care what you say. You make me feel like dancing. All right, I want to show you something here. All right, we got. So I said, USA in your face. Out. Our Germans are better than their Germans. In. Our Chinese are better than their Chinese. So here you got these four guys, Chinese Americans, and we smoked the Chinese commies math team. And freaking, that's awesome. And I said, USA in your face. Our Chinese smoked the Chinese commies. That's nothing but freaking fantastic. Take that, commies, because we are better than commies. And just because they're Chinese Americans doesn't mean they're commies, just means they're freaking Americans. There's nothing, no one can be offended by this. No one at all can say there's anything racist about this at all. We are saying our Chinese, the good guys, beat their commie Chinese, the bad guys. Now, are the commie Chinese, the Chinese Communist Party, the bad guys? Yes. Are the Chinese people the bad guys? No. But if you're representing the Chinese, the CCP, you're most likely a bad guy. Shocking, breathtaking, newsflash. If you're representing the Chinese government, you're probably a CCP and a commie. And our guys represent liberty and freedom, who happen to be Chinese descent. Good guys, bad guys. Good Chinese, bad Chinese. Good white people, bad white people. Good black people, bad black. I know it's crazy, right? Anyway, so look at this guy. I'm like, dude, it's insane to me. This guy says, right, Josh, not sure what the post is implying. Hopefully you are stressing Asian Americans are a vital part of this country. As an American born with Asian descent, whose father served in the U.S. military and his mother was a government worker, I'm proud of the confluence of cultures that make America unique and great. I was like, dude, you got to stick so far up your butt, dude. I say that, but I'm just like, what? Anyway, I'm like, what do I say here? Seems pretty obvious to me. America ain't done yet. And he's like, then some guy says something about, whites are being, taken over by other ethnicities. And that, whatever, that's stupid too. I said to that guy, how many kids do you have? Just how many kids? If you're white and you're sitting there saying, we're being taken over by other races, and you have kids, yeah, I don't want to hear it, man. I don't want to hear white people griping about how whites are being taken over as they have no kids. I got nothing to say to you. If you're all that fearful about your race being overcome and you're not having kids, that's on you, brother. And I don't want nothing to do with that because it's silly. It's just dumb. Anyway, my man Javier said, I thought this was fantastic. He said right here, if you're so worried about your race declining, then white people should have more kids. Exactly. Good luck with that since white millennials and maybe Zoomers are not having. I notice a lot of young cream cheese guys tend to go for Asian girls the most. That's pretty funny. And then this guy says something else too, my man Javier. And this guy, Mike Carpio, said, this is the type of people you're inspiring. I said, dude, how you could possibly see anything racist in my post, I literally don't get. Chinese Americans are kicking butts and taking names, and somehow your first thing is to think I'm disparaging them. I told him to get over it. And then I just like stupid. I'm so sick of these. Like, you're inspiring these people. And so I found this guy said something else I didn't read, man. I said, look out. There may be a white supremacist under your bed. Go check now. They're everywhere, man. They're everywhere. All right. Well, at least my man's got 7 kids. All right. So at least that guy does. So if you got children and you're worried about if you're worried about white people losing their culture and you got 7 children, okay, you did what you can. I don't worry about it. And the reason I don't worry about it because what makes people great isn't this. This is not what makes people great. What makes people great is this right here. And the funny thing is, where the most people who are preaching this, truly, it ain't in the white communities, man. It's not. It's in the Asians, the Indians, the Africans. I'll take a freaking 100,000 freaking Cuban immigrants any day of the week over freaking Boston, wealthy Irish Catholics. I'll take them any day of the week. Actually, it's funny too because all these people are griping about the Italian soccer team winning because the Brits had 3 blacks on there, and they for some reason they put the blacks to do the penalty kicks. Look, soccer doesn't do anything for me, but whatever. And all these people are like, we can't root for the Italians because they're white. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. I mean, it's just freaking insane. It's insane. Part 2 of that, Italians used to be not considered white in America. It's like how Italian, Irish too. Now look, I will never be one of these guys that say, no Irish need to apply. There was some of that. The idea that Irish were enslaved the same way black Africans. Look, man, there's a couple people on here who I respect who are, I don't want to say adamant about that. It's just not the same. It's not the same. And Italians certainly weren't. And anyway, the long story short is, however, Italians and Irish were not treated the same way as WASP. That's just a fact. All right. So the idea that Italians are white, you can't root for the Italians. You got to root for the UK because UK has 3 black guys. The Italians don't have any. They're not diverse, and they're too white. I'm like, this is we literally in a topsy-turvy world. It's just funny. You got to laugh, man. You've got to laugh. Los Angeles going back to mass on Sundays. I can't believe that. Yeah, right. They're referred to BANE, right? British. I don't even know what the hell that stands for. I don't even care. Roth distributions do not count, Ed. They do not count towards IRMA calculations. Jeff says I'm logical. That's the problem. Insane people are not able to tap 100%. And that's why you just can't argue with insane people from the right or from the left. The issue is there's not that many insane people on the right. They're just not. There's no such thing as QAnon. I know a lot of people like to say there is. There is no such thing. Look, I am on the right. I follow the right. I'm of the right. I don't know anyone who's a QAnon. I don't even know what QAnon is. It's just stupid. It's a false flag. What's the other thing too? Have you ever check this out? All right. So the injection. The injection. Have you ever thought no one knows literally what they're putting into their body? You know what I'm saying? Literally no one knows. Could there be some placebo effect in there? And I don't know. Here, just think about this. So could it be that they're injecting some kind of placebo just to get people to say, oh, yeah, I got the injection, and nothing happened, so the V's fine. And then their mind starts fighting internally against what we know the placebo effect. There's some validity to that. It just occurred to me when I was driving. I went to go get some steaks because my tomato plants are growing way too high. So I went up to a Pike's Nursery to see if they had anything on sale, and they didn't have nothing. I was bummed. And I went over to Lowe's. But anyway, I said, it just occurred to me. Could it be that they're doing a placebo effect on some people just to get the word out? And the reason is because there's someone in my family who is, she's not in my immediate family, but I don't know what happened to her, but she's nuts. It's nuts. And it's just as sad. And, if I could take some of Finney's freaking poop, boil it up with water and put it in a little thing like that and call it a vaccine. And she would take it because she thinks it's the best thing since sliced bread. I guess I will have to delete this video after all. And I said, what if they did a placebo effect on something, I don't know, 35% of the population, we're going to put something in your body. You don't know what it is. No one knows what it is. But because you think it's the vax, you'll now go around and you'll say the vax is good. I had no side effects. And by the way, because of placebo, I'm able to, I have no risk anymore or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It just occurred to me. It was funny. I said, what else? I was thinking about that with something else too. There's something else I was thinking about because we know that we have civilians infiltrating the Cuban freedom fighters. And we also know we had, not civilians, we had commie thugs infiltrating the Cuban freedom fighters. And we also know we had government thugs infiltrating the January 6 people. We know that for a fact. We know for a fact that was a false flag set up. That's just simple. That's just that simple. We know Ashley Babbitt got killed by a guy who will never be charged. And she was just as killed as George Floyd, but he'll never be charged. And Derek Chauvin will go to the jail for the rest of his life, if not died before that. Just interesting. It's just, so it's funny how what could transpire is that, we know the civilian, we know Chris Knock, we know, it happens all the time, man, where they say, oh my goodness, those guys did it too, as they set it up. The Eric Holder stuff on Fast and Furious with the gun stuff. We know that is, anyways, it's as old school as the world is long, where we set up the straw man so we can take down what what we think the straw man represents. And it just occurred to me, something else I was thinking about that too. So I say I was watching a video on, I don't know if it's South Park or Family Guy or maybe I can't remember, but it's about the 2000. Remember the whole thing with the internet on the turn of the century, where the internet, everything was going to go down and all that. What if that was a false flag, where they said, oh yeah, so now anyone who thought that the 2000, the year Y2K thing was going to be crazy, it turned out it wasn't. So anyone who thinks that there could be some conspiracy, they must be a conspiracy theorist. I don't know. I just think about it. Think about it. A conspiracy in of itself isn't bad. Conspiracies happen all the time. You conspire for a certain activity, man. It's just that simple. Now, if you conspire into the cloak of darkness and all this stuff, and that's kind of weird. But if conspiring to better your life, conspiring to take out the congressional seat for the 6th district in Georgia, you're conspiring to take out Lucy Macbeth. That's nothing wrong with that. You're a conspiracy. Yeah, it's not a bad thing. It's when people say, oh, it's a conspiracy, you're a theorist, as if conspiracy in a theory means you're a whack job. But I just think they've done such a good job of promoting, like, anyone who challenges the narrative is inherently a conspiracy theorist. It's very, very interesting. And I don't know. I just man, I have no idea. I just go on. I'm like the go on to get along gang. I just, all right, whatever. At the end of the day, it's just fun to think about. But I said, wait a second. Could it be? No one knows. Do you really, when you got the shot, do you literally know what went into your body? Do you have any idea other than what they told you? You don't know, man. You don't know. And it's just, it's interesting how that shakes out. So it could be saline solution. I literally have no idea. You know what I'm saying? And you're thinking, so if I wanted to get people to not fear something, I would do my best to basically make it so it won't hurt them. And that way the people are worried about it can look like fools, if that makes sense. Just kind of fun. All right, so what else we got here, man? So the Cubans can overthrow the government without weapons. Simple. Look at, we have tons of examples of this where just you say the people don't turn on the soldiers, don't turn on the civilians. Actually, I think what it would be is you have to, literally, it's so much easier said than done. But people would have to say, I'm going to die in this. This is the hill I will die on. And I'm going to die attacking the soldiers. And one of us is going down today. And if enough people follow, the soldiers will run. The only reason the soldiers are there isn't because they're good fighters. They're wimps. They're thugs, man. They're bullies. It's because they're saying, okay, I can stand against Castro and be destroyed, or I can stand against the citizens and keep my good job, cushy job, keep my hot wife, and have food. So I think I'll stand against the citizens. Now, what happens is at some point, hopefully, that changes. And I have a book on the revolution in Haiti, where that literally happened, where the Haitians, and I can't remember his name, I forgot the dude's name, who led the revolt against the French in Haiti in like 1897 or something like that. And the same thing happened. At some point, there's so many that the soldiers say, I'm gonna. It's no different than the Iraqi war with the Iraq Revolutionary Guard. They said, I'm, what I'm saying. At some point, they say, oh, they're coming. There's nothing I got to do about it. And that's what's going to happen ultimately in Cuba. But some are going to get killed, man. Some are going to get killed. And the question is, do you want to get killed? And this is the interesting thing about America, is we've got it so good, that we won't want to risk it. This is why immigration is so flipping good, man, because immigrants have literally left everything behind. Everything. They are the inherent risk takers, man. They take all the risks. We don't, because we got freaking 3 hots in a cot. And as long as you got 3 hots in a cot, you're like, there's too much at stake for me to say anything that YouTube might ban me. There's too much at stake for me to say anything that my boss might not like. There's too much at stake for me to say BLM is a bunch of freaking grifting clowns. There's too much at stake, so I'll go on to get on because I like 3 hots in a cot. The immigrants, they're like, dude, I got nothing to lose. You see what I'm saying? So at some point, like what Gladys was saying, that video I posted earlier today, she's saying they have nothing left to lose. There's no food. I got to go get my tea. Hold on just a second. I can't believe you, big baby. Oh, what a big baby. He's a big baby. He's a big baby. You know I love him. You know I love him. He's a big baby. He's a big baby. I love him. Yes, I do. I love him with all of love. I love you, boys. Baby, love me. The sky's a great day. All right. So I got my reading glasses on, because I want to share with you guys a couple of things here. All right. Yeah, well, I hope they're all dead, man. Democratic politics. Well, it's not just Democrat, man. It's actually just reading an article today about like what happened to Bill Kristol. And it's like, I mean, it's all about, when you're in the big club, it's all about that stuff, man. Yeah, exactly. Hey, first time live stream, right on. Harold Gilchrist. All right. Do corporate bonds behave differently than government bonds in an inflationary environment? We just don't know. I wish this is I don't want to say a pet peeve of mine. It's a frustrating environment because we don't have enough experience, and this is what drives me up. Like, I see all these things on how to invest for inflation, and I say, what was the investment that worked in inflation? Remember, from 1966 to 1982, gold was illegal to own until what, 1972 or 71 or, I mean, literally, you could not own gold from 1935, I think, to 1972, something like that. So it had basically, it had a price cap on it immediately. So for gold to jump up when Nixon allowed it to be owned by the general population, happened to coincide with the biggest inflation we've ever had in the United States. So does that mean gold is a hedge against inflation, or did it go up? It just happened to be an inflationary time, and it went up because they took rid of the price cap. I hope that makes sense. I don't know, but was a correlation caused by the causation, if that makes sense? I.e., did the price of gold go up because of inflation of that time, or did the price of gold go up because they got rid of the cap? My inclination is they got rid of the cap. It had been suppressed for all these years. I mean, there's a black market for it, but it's literally illegal. It had been suppressed for all these years. So I don't know about that. I don't. Commodities. Okay, so let's just talk about coal and natural gas. Would everyone agree those are commodities, right? Coal and natural gas. We were literally running out of natural gas. Jimmy Carter said that, which is why he freed up coal. I mean, it's pure insanity. You know, we had the peak oil worry. Oh, but wasn't peak oil? No one said. I hear all these clowns about peak oil. It's like they change the goalposts. You just can't argue with these people, man. Is what my wife was saying about the person in our family who's so addicted to vaxes. Is literally a religion for them. I don't understand it, but whatever. I mean, so you can't argue with someone's God. But peak oil, that was happening in the 70s. We were literally on the precipice of our consumption of oil. That's what they said. So we had hit the mountain peak. We weren't going to run out tomorrow, but we were going to start running lower, and the reserves are going to go lower and lower and lower. And now here we are. The reserves keep going up and up and up. And they keep saying, well, that's not what we meant yet. We didn't mean global cooling in the 70s. Okay. Anyway, so the point being is what happened with natural gas back then? Well, the price spiked because it was running out. It was literally running out of natural gas. We had peak oil with OPEC. We had natural gas running out. And so Jimmy Carter said our only alternative was what? Was coal. So that's why coal was having a rejuvenation in the late 70s and early 80s because the natural gas was running out and the peak oil was happening and the cartels of OPEC. So is that so what jumped up in price? I mean, that's the thing. Did that happen because of inflation? I don't know. I don't know. Now, you know, wheat and corn and all that stuff. Well, we didn't really have the GMOs like we do now for corn. Corn was still a lot of family farms. Corn was going into the corn-fed stuff and this major agricultural industry that we have now, which isn't good, man. And that wasn't the case back there. Ethanol, the demand for corn, I think like 50% of the corn consumed in America or in the world is used for ethanol and to feed cows. I mean, the whole thing's nuts, man. And so we're losing our topsoil because of ethanol. Man, the whole thing is insane. They didn't have that back then. So now the demand for corn has gone up is because of this. Is that because of inflation? I don't know. Wheat, I don't know. I mean, so I'm trying to think what other, pig futures, pork bellies. So, but the major ones are literally energy stuff is oil, natural gas, coal, gold, copper, silver, all that stuff. And there's a reason for those to have gone up regardless of inflation. So I'm not even sure commodities go up with inflation. I don't know. But Hans, I think at the end of the day, this is why I said in my video the other day, if I had $1 million, I'd do Wellington. Now, if I wanted to be less risky, I'd do Wellesley. Now, I don't have enough evidence of Wellesley because Wellington goes back to 1929. Wellesley goes back to 1971, essentially. So we missed the first 5 years of the inflationary 60s for Wellesley to compare it. But let's, I think I got the Putnam Fund. Hold on just a second. Let me, I wanted to. All right. So if you guys haven't, all right. So I'm no longer offering the right capital to new people anymore. So I'm no longer offering this anymore. The right capital. Now this is a freaking awesome alternative right here. This is my man Daniel Kuhlbert's 55e.co. I was talking to the guy today. He said, "Hey, do you think it's worth it?" I said, "Dude, it absolutely is worth it." So I can't remember if I got that fund in here or not. Let's take a look. It's a Putnam fund. Hold on just a sec. I don't know if I do or not. Yeah, I guess not. Shoot. Putnam had I've done videos on it. All right, let's hold on just a second. Let me just show you this guy's website so you can. I mean, look, man, if you're not, there's no better spreadsheet in terms of what this guy does that I'm aware of. There's not. So 55e.co. This is the one we're going to use today, the bucket strategy, and it's freaking awesome. It's superior. So let's go to that Putnam Fund. Putnam Income Fund. I think that's it right there. PINCX. Yes, PINCX. I think that's it. PINCX Class A. Yeah, right there. Okay, good. So let's go to this. So just for simplicity, we're going to look at what this is the one that goes back the furthest of a bond fund that goes back the furthest that I'm aware of. All right, this is the longest bond fund, solely bond fund that's around that I'm aware of. So what we want to see here is we want to see what the holdings are, because I think it's all bonds. Yeah, so it's 10% cash, 86% bonds. All right, good. So that's fantastic. So let's go to performance. So remember, 66 to 82 was the inflationary years. All right, so this, and a lot of people, let's see if this has duration on here. Hold on just a second. And I think Dan has a way we can actually put this in. All right, y'all can see that. Fantastic. All right, let's see. I can't remember. It's a risk. We're looking for duration just to give you a gauge. I don't know if Yahoo Finance has duration. I kind of think they don't, which is freaking nuts. All right. The duration right there. All right. So duration, every 1% increase in interest rates, this bond fund will go down by 5% in terms of price. So right now it's trading at $7 a share. For every 1% increase in interest rates, this will go down from $7 to $6.65. It'll lose 35 cents for every 1% increase in interest rates. And I can't remember if duration, it goes the exact opposite when it goes down. In terms of interest rates, I can't remember. But either way, most people don't care about going up. They just care about going down. I think the treasuries, the 10-year treasuries, back below 1.3 today. It's inflation. Yeah, 1.297. I tell you, man, I'm paying off my mortgage like a crazy man. I just paid $50,000 against the principal. And I'm just like, why am I doing this? I mean, the 13-week treasury bill is 0.03. You get less than 4 basis points for 13 weeks of cash. I cannot have, I hate debt, but I'm just sitting there thinking, man, a 10-year treasury at 1.3 is insane. I should be freaking taking out all my equity. I just can't do it. 30-year treasuries at 1.9. That's nuts. This is insane. But it's inflation, Josh. All right, so anyway, let's look at this guy. So we're going to look at performance. All right, so we're going to say we had $100,000 in this fund. It's all bonds. Now, look, man, past performance is no results. I get all that. We don't have much to analyze when it comes to bonds and stocks and all that from the time period of 66 to 82. We just don't have that much. And as such, the only time we have to analyze what happened during inflation is just a small period of time. And we don't have that much in terms of bond funds. And we have more stock funds, I grant you. But I've said a million times on Sunday, stocks in themselves, they're not. It's like an electron. It's just you got the nucleus and it just bounces all around like a crazy man. We don't know what's going to happen with inflation in stocks, but we thought we knew what was going to happen with inflation in bond funds. And it turns out I was kind of wrong, because when I started looking at this fund in particular, I said, "Whoa, wait a second." All right, so we're going to take $100,000. I wonder if I can go back to oh, man, did I screw that up? I want to go back to Dan's bucket. Hold on a second. Let me bring that back up here. Pin 6. Okay. So let's all right, hold on just a second. Pin 6. We're going to go back to Dan Coolberts. Dan the spreadsheet man. That's what I call him. Dan the spreadsheet man. Dan the spreadsheet man. How does your garden grow? Dan the spreadsheet man. I can't think of a good rhyme with that. Does it taste like yellow snow? All right, good. So let's, he had a thing on here. Oh, wait, y'all can't see this. Let me bring it back up. Hold on a second. There we go. All right. So he had a thing on here, and they get rid of Finney. Can you stop dropping your toy? What a knucklehead. All right. So we got, is it this guy? He had a thing on here he showed us last night on my Subscribe Star live stream. Where was it? I think it was right there. How did I do this? 2 bucket sheet. All right, hold on a second. I'll find this sucker. Pull from Yahoo right there. Oh man, I can't remember how we did this. Paste table from Yahoo. It was right. I'm telling you. Shoot. It's funny when he showed me. I was like, oh, okay, I can do that. Now I'm like, I'm scared. I'm scared what I'm doing. So let's B10. 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 Oh, that's B right there. That says B10. I don't know. Oh man, I wish I could get that and copy and paste it. It is on this field right here. I know that for a fact. 2 bucket B10. Oh man, how do you do that, dude? Shoot. Dan, are you on here by chance? Let me see if my man's on here. Oops, wrong one. Is Dan on here? North Georgia, Ray. Shoot. It's too bad. Anyway, all right. So let's. I was hoping he showed me how to do this, right? With where we could change. I could have sworn that was like that one right there, but where you could actually change this to go into it, and it's on there. Just feed into that spreadsheet. It was nuts. I said, "Holy crap! If we can do that, that'd be fantastic." All right, let me try. I'm gonna try here. I'm kind of scared. I'm gonna try here. PINCX, right? Let's see what happens. Ooh, look at that. Did that. All right. Hey, holy crapola. All right. Yes. All right. So now the question is, where did that go right there? Where did that go right there? So let's go back. All right. That's freaking awesome, man. All right. So now we go to, not there, I guess. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to. I can't remember how to do it. All right, well, I have to mess around with this. Fun comparison. Maybe that's it. Okay. So let's go to. Still not what I'm looking for. Let's see though. We got S&P 500. We have P. All right, I'm not gonna remember how to do this. I was able to do it right there. So there's a way you could put something in here in one of these and it would drop down. So any fund you want to use, you can put it in this box that I was trying to show you right there, and it would go in that box. And I know it's not making any sense, but trust me, I was like, damn, I was looking at when he did it yesterday. So that is freaking awesome, man. And I just can't remember how we did that actually. Because I'm not the brightest bulb when it comes to falling directions. In fact, my direction falling is quite weak, which is why my wife hates it, because she goes, you don't fall directions. I said, I can't, man. It's not in my seat. I thought he put it right there where I could put it right there and it automatically filter over, but I'm not sure. I can't just put. I don't know, man. Oh, maybe can I put it right there? Yeah. I could have sworn it was right there. Placeholders for the 3 bucket. Yeah, I don't know. All right, so that sucks because there's a way to do it. I know it's right here. And let's just try it. PICNX. Let's see what we come up with. Yeah, that's not gonna work. What am I doing wrong? Yeah, I don't know. All right. Well, anyway, so let's go back. That sucks, man. All right. So, right there. Is that what I got to do? Let's copy and paste this right here. And we'll paste that right. We'll put that right there. Put that right there. We'll copy and paste that. And we'll put PCIN next. See if that works. Oh, man. Is that not the right ticker? Why did that not work? PCINX, right? right, so we got that right there. All right, that looks good. Got the whole thing. I got to do capital letters. Was it PCINX? PI. Hold a second. What the hell was that ticker called? What was that ticker called? PCINX? PCINX. No, PI. 1 second, guys. Trust this will make sense once we figure this out. I'd be glad you hang tight with old buddy Josh here. I'm sure I probably got no one on here anymore. PCINX. Can Yahoo Finance work any slower? PCINX, yeah. PC, but that only goes, that's, what the hell is a freaking A shares? Ugh. Putnam Income Fund. I just want the Putnam Income Fund, man. Come on. Putnam Income right there. PINCX. Okay. PINCX. Okay. PINCX. 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 And PINCX. Come on, man. Work for me. And no. Ah. I just wanted to work, man. All right. Damn. Should figure that out. Stupid reading books. I should have been doing this today, but I was reading stupid books. What the hell, man? You don't get anything from reading. PINCX. All right. So anyway, let's go back and we'll do it manually. Yeah, boy. All right. So hold on just a second. Oops. I'm screwing this up, Roy. PINCX, PINCX, right there. All right, so let's bring you guys back up. All right, so, hey, so we got 117 people here. All right, appreciate that. Do you have to put the list down? We're all counting on you. No, they're all gonna they're all gonna laugh at you. All right, so we'll do this manually then. All right, so we got $100,000 in the Putnam Income Fund Class A. All right, it's 5 duration, not much. AAA bonds. It's got basically highly rated bonds, some junk bonds in there, but not a bad portfolio. All right, so let's see what the performance does, and we're gonna go back. We're gonna find out where Pablo is, and I don't know. And we're gonna say we had $100,000 in this fund in 1966 when the inflation started kicking in, and when the portfolio was down. All right, so we're down 6%. So we're taking our trusty calculator, as Peter Watterson says, minus 6.12 times 1.1544 times 1.1493 times, or minus 18.86 times 1.0767 times 1.1375 times 1.1058 minus 2.40 minus 7.47 times 1.1720 times 1.2062 times 1.0549 times 1.0162 minus 1.89% minus 0.15% times, and we'll just stop at 0.0803. All right, so $100,000 invested in this fund, and is worth $200,000. Well, 198,000 to be precise, Hans, if you're still there, or if I haven't put you to sleep. Anyway, so the point being is that did not get smoked during the 70s. It didn't. So now if we go back to the bucket strategy and we say, okay, let me bring this back up to you, and we look at share. So during inflation, did bonds get smoked during the 1970s? No. What did get smoked if you owned individual bonds? No one owns individual bonds. I mean, they used to, which is why there's no bond funds back then. Everyone just owned individual bonds, but no one does anymore. All right, so let's go to 2-bucket strategy. Y'all can, all right, good. And now we're just gonna go inflation adjusted And we're going to go to Wellington Fund. We'll just say good old-fashioned Wellington Fund. We're going to say nothing in here, boink. And we're going to go Wellington, V-I-N-G-O, V-I-N-G-O, V-I-N-G-O. And Wellington was his name. Oh, and we're going to start at 1966. All right. Boink. All right, sweet. And then we're just going to go to 1982. Boink. All right, so $100,000 is worth $80 million. Obviously, I did something wrong here. All right, let's just get rid of that. Boink. So $100,000 is worth, oh, that's how much it, okay, going back from, I can't remember how much it was actually. I can't remember what he said that was. All right, so we got $100,000 and started in 1966. At the end of 1981 is worth $208,000. I mean, I'm not going to argue with that. So now let's go back to S&P 500. Now that's not with taking money out. We'll take money out here in just a second. Where's the S&P? Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Who's absorbed in yellow and porous is he? I'll probably get banned for, or not banned, demonetized for copyright. If nautical nonsense is something you wish. All right, so we got 1966 to 1982, the S&P 500, and $100,000 in there was worth $250,000. So from 1966 to 1982. So all pretty good, man. I mean, I like the Wellington Fund just because it doubled and it didn't have as much fluctuation. And then I like Wellington better. Knowing in hindsight, Wellington did better during the deflationary times of the 1930s, did better during the low inflationary times of the aughts, and it did pretty good during the 1966 to 1982. All right, so now let's just take 5,000 a year, we'll adjust it for inflation and see what did what. And with this is S&P 500, and I think this guy ran out of money at some point. Ran out of money in 1983. So it basically didn't last beyond 15 years. I don't think Wellington did much better. So let's look at Wellington. And Wellington lasted until 1981. So both ran out of money about the same time. Let's just do we'll do, I guess, just 10-year treasury rate. I hate to do rates. See, that's the thing. We don't have enough. Oh, man, I wish I had a way to do I did do the PINCX. I did do the PINCX on another video, and it did not run out of money. I remember that. We could, here, hold on a sec. Let me, where did I go back to do that again? Went to returns. Yeah, okay. So we go to, hey, what happened, man? We got an error now. Oh, man, I was giving me an error. Why is it giving me an error? Oh, wait. Okay. Why does it give me an error? Man, what am I? I wish there's got to be, he showed me how to do this. Now I can't remember. Damn, it drives me crazy. I guess what I could do, yes, we could do that. Yeah, there it goes. I think someone mentioned this. All right, so let's do this. Yes. One of y'all said custom. Yes, right on, man. So what we'll do is just delete all that. But now it's not pulling up. Man, what the hell? PINCX. PINCX. Why is it not picking it up now? It did it just a second ago. Why is it not doing it? PINCX. Oh, man, it's so frustrating. What if we, do I dare put it in there instead? Yeah. Why is it not picking up PINCX? Let's go. We'll go to. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to mess around with it because I'm scared. I don't want to break it and then have Dan yell at me. Wellesley, Wellington, Dodge and Cox, Minkum, Ginny Mae. It doesn't go back long enough. Yeah, cheese Louise and blue cheese. Why is it not? All right, I'm gonna try something. I'm going for the gusto. I do it because you guys are paying me the big bucks. I'm going for the gusto. PINCX. Do I dare PINCX? Nope. Oh, why does it start in 1977? Because Google Finance. All right. Interesting. Huh. Why start in 1977? Anyway, I don't have enough. Anyway, okay. Oh. Anyway, all right, so I have to mess around with that. That's fun. I love that stuff. I don't know why. All right, Mark says lumber crashes, lose it all's his gains. Yep, right on, man. So racist is the most misused word by definition of all worlds. Yeah. So I mean, remember why that term was invented against the Indians, the American Indians. They wanted to keep their race. They're racist, i.e., they wanted to keep their American Indian heritage. Crazy, huh? It's very interesting. I saw that Jackie Chan wants to join the CCP. Yeah, what a clown. All right. I'm going to take a break from doing the Wednesday. So, all right. So a couple of things. And this is what I said in my Subscribe Star live stream last night. Meet Kevin canceled on YouTube? What? Because he's running for governor? That's some weak ass crap, man. That's some. All right, I got this. All right, hold on a second. Meet Kevin. Are you kidding me? Meet Kevin canceled. That's some weak ass crap there. Hold on just a second. Let's see if what are they doing? All right. All right. So let's get meet Kevin. Looks like I'm getting canceled. All right. So that might be clickbait. I'm not sure. That might be because Grant Stevens said that. Some other guy said that. I don't know. But anyway, that might be clickbait. By the way, market close pain. When will this all end? There's no, the Dow? I don't even know what the hell. This is what drives me crazy. 100-point decline in the Dow when it's on 35,000 points is not pain. All right, but I was going to see is Bernie Sanders. Has he got a YouTube channel? Yeah, right there. Right there, he's got a YouTube channel. I just find it interesting. Donald Trump can't have a YouTube channel, but Sanders can. What's her name? AOC. Does she have a YouTube channel? Anyway, I just the whole thing's corrupt. Corrupt as all can be. The Cuba dictator tyrant. He can Twitter, but Donald Trump can't Twitter. That's freaking clowns. All right, so on the way, I'm taking a break from that. We kind of ran out of stuff to say, to be honest with you. See, it's I'm a friend of him. Amar's my friend. It's nothing to do with Amar. Nothing. I was getting bored. There's no other way around that. It's nothing to do with Amar, but I like when I do it because I just do stream of consciousness, to be honest with you. And And I like my streaming. It's fun for me. And when I have to have kind of keep it focused more so than I like to, it bores me. I'm not going to lie to you. It's one of those things. I don't mind interviewing people, because when I'm interviewing people, I get to dive deep into what they're thinking. I'm actually a pretty good interviewer. I like that, because I have a mission, which is to try to bring out what interests me in the other people. When I'm kind of doing a back and forth, I don't know. It just doesn't do it for me. No other way. I wish I could. I'm my own man. I'm my own man, Chicken Charlie. And another thing too, I love Amar. He's got to do more videos, man. And I got to, frankly, that was probably my most. I said, you got to do more videos, and I've told him that a number of times. And it's just not happening. And I wish it would, but the thing with YouTube is you got to make a commitment, and you just got to do it, because it's fun. And if you're not getting enjoyment out of doing it, then don't do it. It's kind of the way I look at it. If I hate to sound like I'm slighting the guy, I'm just not. Just like, so if it's not exciting for me like a live stream is, where I just do my stream of consciousness, it's not all that fun for me. Part two of that, we did what we wanted to do, which is the 13 things of wealth management. I thought that was good. It seemed like we were reaching for stuff to talk about. I was like, I don't want to do that. And then part three of that, I wasn't doing my Subscribe Star live streams, and I lost a number of subscribers from that, which I felt like I let them. So here's how Subscribe Star works: is people pay 10 or 25 bucks a month, and to support me. I've never made any commitment that I'll be there to do a live stream or anything like that. I've never said like, if you support me, I will do this. But I feel like if I'm going to accept money from people to support me, I feel like I should be doing something to earn that money. And, it's not much, I grant you. But the nice thing was, or the bad thing was, I hadn't done a live stream for Subscribe Star probably for 4 months. And partly because I was getting burnt out on these weekly live streams. And secondly, it always felt like an obligation. And what I mean by that is I hate lingering things. I hate it with a passion. So every Wednesday at 12:30, I just had this thing. I was like, oh, like I'd be out in the garden, and I just like, oh man, I forgot I got to do my live stream. I was like, I'm just too flaky. I am. There's no other way around that. I don't like having those obligations, and literally nothing to do with Amar. It's just my own personality peccadillos, I guess. But Amar needs to do more YouTubes. YouTube, man, he's got to be plugging them out, man. You got to do it. YouTube is a great source to get your info out there so people can see the real you. But for Amar, he's got a different personality than I do, and people need to see that. You see what I'm saying? And they need to see it by his doing his videos. And he's younger than me, and it's tough, because when you're younger, it just is one of those things that I just don't care. You know what I'm saying? I'm too old to care anymore. And I think when you're still in that younger, in fact, it's interesting. I want to read you something from this book right here. I'm not sure I'll be able to find it, but let's see. Let's go to 83. She talks about. So this is a Maine Hamlet. I cannot stress how much you should get this book. This is the very best book about old time Maine, says a guy. Nothing I've read matches an imagination and richness of the overall community portrait, and then in a Maine Hamlet. Many readers from similar rural New England backgrounds have said it rings true, or she's got it right. That's high praise, writes somebody about this Maine classic. I don't even care about that. I mean, yes, that's nice and all, but it takes you back to the 1890s of the farming community up in Maine, where a woman was, I think she was orphaned and lived with her grandparents. It's like a memoir, but man, it's so much of the old days that you can take into. Literally, you'll read this and you'll start. I've highlighted so many things in this, and it's insane. One thing she talks, I wish I could find this quote. I know I've highlighted it. Bear me just a second. But as you get older, let's see, you start not really caring so much. Hold on just a second. And she talks like, how the weather in Maine determines your look, the way your light outlook is 100%, man. The weather is everything, you know what I'm saying? And I'm sure it is in some other places too, but the weather up in Maine is how you see everything in your life. And it's amazing. And and I have always, my brother and I have always talked about this. When people are raised in warmer climes, we kind of always kind of thought they're wimps. And I say this in all love, my Southern friends. But, about knowing a harsh winter, you don't really have anything to prepare for. A harsh summer isn't like a harsh winter. Because a harsh winter, you're literally shut in. I mean, you literally can't move because of snow and the ice and all that, especially if you live on an island. Or back then, they're driving horse and buggies. Let me see if I can't find this. Hold on a second. Right here. People came into their maximum good looks only in middle life, after the desire to conform to style had died. With age, people of both sexes reach the peak of individualism. I completely think that's right. With age, people of both sexes reach, and can we say both? Will I get banned from YouTube? People of the many different sexes, science, reach their peak of individualism. I 100% agree with that. I thought that was, and there's so many quotes like this. It's insane. So let me just read you one here real quick. I don't know if I post this up on my channel or not, but the countrymen of the 1890s lived in so large a setting that merely to work in his familiar place gave him a freedom we have now only in vacation time. So she's writing this in 1950s, kind of reflecting on her life growing up in rural Maine. His motions were of the large body muscles rather than the small ones of the eye and hand that we're dealing with today, kind of typewriting stuff. Carrying out his own plans, which had a long period of development. All right. He's focused. He says, I got to do this. Without an employer, without a train or a bus to catch, or a watch to obey, he had an independence reserved in contemporary culture for scientists and artists. That could be you, man. That's me. Now I have my own. I got a client to meet tomorrow. I've had 2 today, 2 yesterday, 3 yesterday. I mean, I get clients. You know what I'm saying? But when you're not, so my clients are my boss, and YouTube's my boss in some regard. But I mean, it's different, and it's just there's so much about in this book that just talks about huge levels of. People came into their maximum good looks in their middle age. I completely agree with that. Right here. This is the Civil War made everyone poor for a long time. Now remember, these people lived in Maine. There's no was it Sheridan or Sherman burning the state of Georgia in Maine? What happened? Yet Civil War made everybody poor for a long time. Families were scarred for 40 years afterward by the illnesses of fathers brought back, by mortgages, the high cost of bare subsistence, and the memories, by debt and inflation, the high cost of bare subsistence. You know why there's inflation? Because in war, things are scarce. Not the government printing press, not the Confederate dollars, by scarcity. And I told you about this other book, Ersatz. I don't have it right here. Ersatz in the Confederacy. There is ersatz, scarcity, in the North too, bringing high cost. Let's go to bomb Cuba. No. Let's bomb Iran. Send our no more. We're done with all this crap. Which is real quick. One of the reasons I'm actually pretty optimistic. I'm not necessarily optimistic about the stock market. I just want to be clear. I mean, whatever. I'm actually optimistic because I think a lot of right wingers like me are seeing the truth for what it is. That while Trump was a good reprieve on Hillary, he still didn't control anything. The NSA was still spying on him, on Tucker Carlson. The FBI is full of scoundrels. The CIA is full of scoundrels. We know all this, man. Trump couldn't do anything about YouTube or Twitter. Did he try hard enough? I don't know. But his own party wasn't there. You see what I'm saying? So I think what has happened actually is it was like a kick in the face. We said, we thought politics, if we just voted hard enough, our guys would get in and they would solve things. And we recognize it won't be solved by the false dichotomy of right versus left. It won't be. And as such, I think more and more Republicans, because they're not so afraid to hold on to office for dear life. This is what still infuriated me about 2020. The Republicans just said, let's just get over the finish line. We won't raise the stink. Let's just go over the finish line, and then we'll come back and fight for freedom once we get reelected. And of course, that didn't happen, and it never happens because that's what they said about Obamacare. Just give us the House. We got the House. Give us the Senate. We got the Senate. Well, we need the presidency. We got the presidency, and nothing, man, nothing. And McCain voted again. I get McCain's a clown, but he's dead. But I get it. But he was a clown from day one. I get all that. Still, there wasn't. I mean, the reason they voted for it because they knew McCain was going to take. Look, I'm sorry. The Republican Party did not want to get rid of Obamacare. It just did it. McCain took the arrows for him, but you really think McConnell would have seen that through if it was going to be gone? Nah, it just wouldn't happen. Anyway, point being is they wanted to hold on to their chairs, kicking and screaming, and they couldn't. What's his name? My two, Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue here in Georgia. They talked a good talk, but nothing got done. And sometimes you just got to go out with the old and get in with the new. You got to clean out the bad and come back with the new. And I think, to be perfectly honest, a lot of times the most freedom times happen is when we are on the outs and it's coming from the states. When we have to defend the presidency, that can be a lot of times where we're like, I don't want to do anything that would, make that could hurt the party for the next election cycle. We just got to win. We got to win at all costs, and winning at all costs is not good. So I tell you, man, I think there's a lot of momentum of the people from my side of the aisle say, this whole thing is nuts, and we're not going to revolt and all. And we know January 6th was all fake. It's all false flag. We know. Look at this. There's a guy in my neighborhood. We know a guy who got arrested, and I'm not sure literally who's from this town. We know him. Know him actually. My kids played basketball with him and his brothers and all that. We know him very well, relatively speaking. But and he's a good kid, man. It's just a kid, 19-year-old kid, and the fact that he's literally, and I don't know if he's still in. I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't have a relationship with his mom, but other than through Little League basketball and baseball and stuff. But my wife does. I said, just text her, see what's going on. But she's like hesitant because she goes, I don't want to, if it's bad, I don't want to make it, I don't know. Anyway, long story short, this guy is just a regular, good old fashioned red blooded American guy. And he got arrested doing that. And he's probably still, being beaten to hell by friggin' FBI thugs. And it's just nuts. Who, at the other hand, said, BLM, we're going to kneel before you and wash your feet. Oh, BLM, we love you. Of course, BLM supports the commie. BLM loves cops beating black people in Cuba. BLM loves it. They love cops, police oppression against black people, as long as it's Cuba. And the cops are commies. BLM loves it. But anyway, this whole point, all this happened under Trump, because everyone's like, let's just keep it on the straight and narrow. Let's not rock the boat, and we'll just make it over the finish line, and then we can really be for freedom. Nah, screw that, man. And I knew when they went after my man Thomas Massie, I knew they were all. I knew there was all clown show. So I'm pretty optimistic because Biden doesn't know what he's doing. Jen Psaki is an idiot. Kamala's dumb as rocks. We know all this, man. So all those people are dumb. And so as such, I think a lot of people for the first time, I think it started happening under the Trump presidency. They're saying, wait, I thought the FBI were the good guys. Now we realize they're not the good guys. We are like the new Frank Churches. And if you're not familiar with Frank Church, I invite you to read some history for heaven's sake. Frank Church Commission. We are like the Frank Church of the old 1970s. And we're like, yeah, those aren't the good guys. Those are actually the bad guys. And I think we need to police these people up and rein them in. And as such, out with the old, and we're gonna have in with the new, and hopefully in with the new will be a new viability of a conservative movement. With that said, I also think we recognize you can't rely on Washington D.C. to solve your problems. It's got to come local. I really do. So I'm pretty excited. And I also think most people now recognize if you're called a racist, it's a badge of honor. If you're called a sexist, it's a badge of honor. If you're called a transphobe, it's a badge of honor. If you're not called these things, you're not doing a good enough job. That's all there is to it. So, and people are becoming less and less scared to say, white people say, yeah, it's not okay to be racist against whites. That's racist. Oh, how dare you, white privilege. I think white people, whatever. And I'm actually pretty excited. I think the youngins are more tolerant than my generation was of odd lifestyle choices. I don't think they're as woke as people think. And I think they're willing to be poorer financially so they don't have to bow before corporate America or government America. And I think we're all starting to see. So the left sees the corporations as the bad guys. We always saw the government as the bad guys. Now I think the right sees the corporations as also the bad guys. recognizing that the government, in some regard, has been there to provide at least some safe spaces, because we still are we theoretically control at least the local government. So, and I think the left is starting to see the corporations are not as bad as it's fair. It's a very interesting mix here. So, at the end of the day, I think we're seeing a little bit of good in the government, a lot bad in the corporations that heretofore we weren't there seeing. I think the left is seeing a little bit good in corporations. You know, I hate to say capitalism, but you know, corporate America has some good points, and still seeing a lot of bad, and is also seeing bad in the government too. So I think it's there's some good stuff, man. Good stuff. That Meet Kevin thing annoys me. I'm not gonna lie. Anytime it says the markets are on fire, we're getting killed, and it's down 100 points, I'm just like, that's just no big deal. Yeah, that's nuts. And the funny thing is, where remember, the anti-vaxxers used to be on the left, man. It's crazy. And now, you know, Robert De Niro and Jenny McCartney, whatever her name is, all these people. Now the anti-vaxxers are not solely on the left. And remember, though, Kamala says she wouldn't get the vax because it was founded under Trump. So Kamala is the original anti-vaxxer. The whole thing is nuts, man. But I saw the administration wants corporations to crack down on anti-vax information. That is literally the definition of fascism. That's literally the definition of fascism. All right. Right. No, he wasn't. Me, Kevin wasn't gone, man. I just saw him up there. But aren't you a conspiracy theorist if you think a conspiracy is false? Yes. And asking questions makes you a nut job. Yes, right here. Genetic research within the past 12 to 18 months reveals that many Europeans and most North Americans descended from Central Asians. All right. So we get minority preference. Yahoo! Mongolia. I mean, it's literally Mongolia. I've always, when we did our, whatever that thing was, 23andMe, I thought we'd have some Mongolian, because my granddad and a couple of my uncles do have a little bit of slanted eyes. We always kind of thought it was Mongolian, because they from like far Eastern Europe or something. I can't remember. But anyway, I always thought they had some, you know, Asiatic in there. Did not show up in that in 23andMe, but I think they've 23andMe or whatever the other ones. We didn't do the 23andMe. We did whatever. But there's a bunch of different ones. Be interesting to see that. Yeah, when a doctor show you an X-ray, do you know it's yours? Right on, Claudia. Exactly. All right. Visiting Maine in August for 2 weeks. What should I see? Man, dude, Maine's a big state, brother, man. Maine's a big state. Dude, I love Maine. All there is to it. I love it. Maine's, hey, Maine black bears right there. It's just so much. It's so much to see. Yeah, don't just go to, you got to go to Cape Elizabeth. Cape Elizabeth is fantastic. You got to go downtown Portland, Old Port. You really need to get in the north part of Maine. You know, I love Freiburg. The western mountains of Maine, it's probably not going to be as beautiful now because it's not the fall. I tell you, man, going out western Maine in the fall is heaven. I mean, my goodness, it's just heaven. I love the water. You know, the smell of the ocean. I love that too. That's heaven too, without question. So both, it's great. Maine's a wonderful state. I just don't think I can handle winters. I was talking to a guy from Maryland today. He's like, man, the winters are too hard. I said, Maryland, but it's just kind of funny. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. 100%. See, Dr. Nathaniel Jensen work. There's this guy out of Scott Jensen in Minnesota, Dr. Scott Jensen. You should follow too. He's on Facebook. I don't even think he's on YouTube, but I think he's running for Senate, if memory serves. That guy's fantastic. All right, so just going back to Subscribestar, right on, Kevin. If you all want to support me with that sweet money, subscribestar.com, Josh Scanlon. I don't have a huge subscribe. I had a bigger one because I just don't promote it. I probably ought to. It's one of those things. The one thing about subscribe, this is what I said last night in my Subscribestar only live stream. The one drawback I found, and I haven't done it for a while, is I like doing videos on my phone and just loading them up real quick. You know what I'm saying? Padre Castor golpeado y arrestado por la policía por proteger manifesta en Camagüey, Cuba. So Pastor Castor is arrested for or by the police for protesting at manifestante in Camagüey, Cuba. Yeah, I'm not sure what. So that's from Gladys. She just texted me that. I hope you watched that. She broke down a couple of times. This is no joke. I mean, I know you guys know it's not. You know, we had a clown on here saying, you know, the guy that you showed didn't get killed. He just was rushed to the hospital, and they denied. The police asked his family for painkillers, according to the police. I said, you're such an ass clown. You're a friggin' fool. According to the commie police, the guy wasn't killed, just rushed to the hospital. When they asked the family for painkillers, the family refused. Oh, in that case, they must be telling the truth because communists don't lie. I just sit there. The level of absurdity of leftists in America, what is the fascination with Castro and his evil regime? I know Castro's dead. Chavez, what is it? It's the weirdest thing, man. I don't get it. What is the fascination with these freaking people, with these dictators? It's crazy. It's this weird. It's an evil that I can't explain, and I thank God I can't explain it. But it's like they just crave power. They want to tell you how to live. It's the weirdest thing. Like they act like they're for gay rights, but we're going to convert your children. Now, hey, cool. Chloe's watching my live stream right now. Hey, everybody. Hugs and kisses. You guys want to jump? I can send you a link if you guys want to jump on here. Let me know. Text me, babe. Or Coco. All right, so while Chloe's watching the live stream, I'm going to show her. Oh, baby cakes. All right. Pablo's on the couch. Baby cakes. Where's Mama? Oh, I love him. He's such a good boy. Oh, yeah. Anyway, so what we're saying to my family interrupted me. They're in San Diego right now, chilling. Hey, they commented. Oh, cool. Let's see what they said. All right. Hey, oh. Yeah, I love my wife, man. Look at that beautiful woman. She's on Facebook. Oh man. Dude, Jimmy, look at that. She is freaking smoking hot. Man, where's my hot tea? Oh boy, I'm an emotional clown. That's all there is to it. Thanks, babes. We finally see Charlotte. Yep, you're such a good. Oh, Melissa. She's with Melissa right here. Oh, look at Melissa Jackson. Yeah, there she is, man. Oh boy. Oh. Ron says she is hot. I know it, man. Oh man, must be nice. She must be giving you a hint to finish up. Oh man. Hey babes. All right, so let me show you Finney again. Ah man. Oh boy. Let's see. Let's just take you in the other room to show you Pablo. Oh man. I ran 3 miles today, babes. Yes, indeed. Oh, oh, there he is. Hi, Pablo. Uh-oh, he's looking at me kind of funny. Oh, baby. Hi. Well, why don't you come sit with us, Pablo? Oh, now here comes Finney. All right. Anyway, That's my better half right there. By far and away, my better half, man. Oy. Praise the good Lord for that. Let me tell you, man. I don't know what I did to deserve such a wonderful family, but man alive. It's kind of weird having my wife and kids watching my live stream. Well, I better shape up, huh? Shape up or ship out. All right, so what we're talking about, we had a couple of questions here. The Fruits of Graft by Wayne Jett. The Fruits of Graft by Wayne Jett. All right, let's look at what that is here. The Fruits of Graft. Oops, I go to Amazon, so let's bring this up. The Fruits of Graft by Wayne Jett. All right, let's go on this, and we will. I'm not afraid to cry, everybody. I'm a big old baby when it comes to that kind of stuff. Fruits of, right here. Oh, all right. Interesting. What caused the Great Depression? All right. All right. Well, it was pretty good. How many Wayne Jett. The facts will shock you in your worldview are misled about the Great Depression as financial. They're real as even with constitutional protection for freedoms of speech. All right, well, it's pretty interesting. And I got Kindle Unlimited, so I will read that for free because I do subscribe to Kindle Unlimited. By the way, if you subscribe to Kindle Unlimited via my link, actually, I don't know how to do that. I'm not even sure how to. All right, I'm going to send, I'll put this text out there. I think it's like $10 a month. I love it. I love Kindle Unlimited. So I'm going to put my Kindle, that Fruits of Graft by this guy. I haven't read it, so no, not endorsing it. But if you subscribe to Kindle Unlimited for your free trial, I get like a $3 bonus or whatever it's called. Yes, the war, the ultimate Keynesian economics. Yep, 100%. Jack just retired and absolutely loving it, man. That's freaking awesome. Awesome. Kirk says Republicans never fight the real battle. The culture, 100% Kirk. And I think that's starting to change. But, I mean, at the end of the day, it's probably too lost. However, I think the Republicans are saying, well, we've capitulated long enough. Now it's time to fight back. It can't be top down. The Republicans, it's interesting because we want small government, but it's always been top down for us from politics. Let the president and the Senate take care of it. And it's always bottom up for the Democrats. I mean, why do you think the AOC is in charge of the Democrats? It's because all these clowns in Seattle, all these clowns, and I mean, they're all in charge, man, the localities, and they're loud and they're proud, and they're they're not taking no crap. Is all there is to it. And they're satanic. They lie, they cheat, they steal. Satan, he lies. This is what cracks me up about. Like, if we just go along to get along, they'll capitulate. I mean, all right, my friends, George Mitchell, not the good George Mitchell, the bad George Mitchell from the state of Maine. He was majority leader in the Senate in the late 80s and early 90s. He rooked George H.W. Bush, which cost him his election because he said George H.W. Bush was so worried about out of control government spending, he had to get it under control. So George H.W. Bush says, as long as you and the Democrats cut spending by $2, I will raise taxes by $1 for every $2 you cut spending. All right? Signed the legislation, raised the taxes. What did George Mitchell do? Never cut spending. Spending just kept on going up. And remember George H.W. Bush in the Republican convention, 1988. Read my lips. This is when I voted for Mike Dukakis, by the way. Read my lips. No new taxes. And he lied because he was a CIA stooge too. I mean, George H.W. He was a patriot, I grant you, but he was still a big government CIA stooge, man. I mean, he was. You know what I'm saying? So come on. At the end of the day, is that he said he lied to the American people, and they got fed up with it. And they said, no, screw you, dude. We don't trust you as far as he could kick you. And what did George Mitchell? He walked away with the prize. He rooked the Republicans, as this always happens, because satanics or the Satan lies. And they do. It's what they do. They lie. And they lie and they cheat and they steal. And because Republicans think this is the whole thing with the Chinese trade war. The Chinese been at war with us for years. It's just Trump finally engaged, finally. It's the one drawback about Trump losing is obviously the judges. That's bad. Obviously, the government incorporating stupid 16. I mean, this whole I actually am happy they're going through this critical race theory 1619 product, because I think most whites are finally going to stop being so damn defensive. Whites going to say, yeah, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this. I don't have any white privilege. Shove that up your butt. I'm tired of this. I'm not, look, I don't mind, you guys griping about, freaking, we're tolerant to a point, but we're tired of being tolerant. We're not doing this anymore. And at some point, your back's against the wall enough. You say, something, this is a bridge too far. We're not doing this anymore. And I think that's going to be what's happening now. Is finally say, yeah, no more. We're done. We're done. No more of this crap. And that's where things get done. I hate to say it. I mean, look how much the left gained under the Trump presidency. So don't forget, it wasn't just the Trump presidency. The Republicans had, 26 trifectas, if not more, where they owned the governorship and both places of Congress, of the House and state legislature. The presidency, both houses of Congress, and 26 trifectas. And the left was still marching through the world. It's insane. So, if we only win one more election, we'll solve this? No, it didn't happen. You know why? Because we said, well, we're in charge now, so we don't want to rock the boat. We might lose our seats. And guess what? Now you're on the outs. You're like, nah, we're like the Cubans. We got nothing to lose. What are they going to do? Make us listen to more critical race theory? We're like, we've already listened to enough. You know what I'm saying? What we're going to do? Listen to more to Fauci? We've already listened to enough. And that was all under Trump. That was under Trump's presidency. Crazy. We got it. So who runs Georgia? Brian Kemp. House and Senate are controlled by Republicans. And guess what's on the TV? Department of Public Health ad saying, what does it say? You go get yours about getting the injection. This is in Georgia, run by supposedly conservative House, Senate, and governor. Go get. They're paying money for you on advertisers to go get your. I got mine or something like that. It's nuts. So, but thankfully, the Republicans will fight back. When did the injection been promoted? By Republicans. Boris Johnson. It's crazy, man. So anyway, I'm excited because now Republicans and conservatives, not Republicans so much, are saying enough of this crap. Enough. Now, where I think a lot, I was listening a little bit to Anomaly debating with Styx Hexhammer when I was out there with the dogs, eating some of my cherry tomatoes because they're just coming out my ears, which is awesome. And Styx Anomaly thinks that inflation is going to happen pretty quickly. Everyone on my side thinks inflation is imminent. And it drives me up the wall. I say, okay, so why did George H.W. Bush raise taxes? Because government spending was out of control. Government spending is what's called the crowding out. It crowds out private entrepreneurship, private investment, blah, 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 leads to inflation, blah, 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 leads to high interest rates, which hurts economies and hurts unemployment, blah, 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 blah. So he raised taxes to offset that. And of course, that never happened. This whole idea of the printing press leading to massive amounts of inflation is freaking, I've said this until I'm blue in the face. It's insane. What leads to massive amounts of inflation is always and everywhere. Government dictates that lead to scarcity. That is why there is going to be inflation in beef prices. I'm telling you, man. Carbon offsets? What the hell do you think is it going after? They're going after moo cows. Moo. Let's see if I got a text from my better half. See if she's texted me. Oh. So anytime the government says, yeah, cows, the methane, that's pretty bad. We want to start policing that up. So we're going to have to do all these regulatory stuff for you to have a cow. Of course, that's going to increase inflation. And nothing to do with the government spending. Nothing. All right. Ooh, Hoppy Beers doesn't like whistling. Oh, boy. You drinking too many beers or Hoppy? You got too much hops in your IPA. All right. Let's see. Yeah. You got $500 child. Oh, man. They have over 30 people in prison even today and treat them worse than prisoners at Guantanamo. I'm not sure what he's talking about. Who's they? Who's he talking about? Does anybody know? Sure. Just the other day, I got sunburn. It's not frostbite. Yeah, I don't care. The Texas Dems flee to avoid voting. Yeah, exactly. I think they tried that in Wisconsin. They tried again in Minnesota. Yeah, it's just this. Look, man, they're trying to show they're fighting back against those evil Republicans. It's all grifting, all grifting. Disney, yeah, Disney's gone insane, man. Yeah, Anomaly was a little bit on the fence, and I heard his. I love Anomaly. I love him. I think that guy's fantastic. I'm not sure how quick off his feet he is. Sticks is tough, man. Anomaly called him low IQ, and even Anomaly said, "Yeah, I probably shouldn't have said that." When you start using that kind of stuff, that usually tells me you're probably on the losing end. Sticks, I like Sticks. Sticks is he's prominent. At least I would think. I can't see Sticks getting rattled. I can see Anomaly getting rattled. Like me, he's a high-strung, high-impact guy. Sticks is chill like a bill. But it seemed Anomaly in his wrap-up was a little bit on the defense, and I said, okay. So, I hope it was all good. I just, anytime you're using things low IQ, anyway. But hey, look, everyone makes mistakes, man. But I could see Sticks winning that. I haven't watched it. I probably won't. But I could see Sticks win that. I think it's pretty cool, man. I think it's pretty cool that Sticks and Anomaly got together. Apparently, Sticks and Hotep Jesus are talking. Anomaly's talking. I just love it. I think this is great. This one of the things I love about YouTube. It allows people from different backgrounds and different thought process. I more agree with Anomaly almost on everything, actually. I'm not quite sure what his take on inflation is. I still quite didn't get it. It seems like he's still thinking that inflation is imminent. Seems like I don't know. I'm just putting words in their mouths. I don't know. Some of the economics that both. So what did Anomaly say that? Venezuela. Venezuela is printing money. Thus is inflationary. Thus, so this is it's kind of like the SAT or the LSAT. Venezuela prints money. It led to inflation. USA prints money. X. What happens? X. You know what I'm saying? You got to make a logical argument in the LSAT or the SAT. I can't remember. Inflation would be, and that's kind of like Anomaly. Venezuela printed money, inflation. USA prints money, question mark, inflation. No. Again, for the 1,000th time. Laura, let's just do this again. It's always fun to do this, man. Anyway, so what else was I going to say? If you want to support me on Subscribestar, let me just show you real quick. We'll go here in my profile page. Subscribestar.com. Oh, that's what I was saying before I saw my beautiful on here. Is that subscribestar.com/Josh Scanlon is my thing. What I was going to say is the one drawback is Subscribestar. I'll just put it on here. The one drawback is I can't post. At least I wasn't able to before post videos from my phone on Subscribestar that come up well. It's actually kind of annoying. You can do it on Rumble and you can do it on YouTube. There's this another thing called Locals. I don't know. Are y'all familiar with Locals? That's Dave Rubin's thing. I'm actually becoming a fan of Locals because you can do all that there too. So I haven't really looked into it that much. Let's see if I got Locals coming up. Yeah, Locals right here. So here's Locals. Hey, what's her name? Tulsi. Yeah, Tulsi. Yeah, man. Big fan first time. So that I don't like that guy anymore. No, not a fan of Scott Adams. He went after my man Tony Heller, and Scott Adams is climate change climista, and you can't be right wing and be a climate change worried about climate change because it's just silly, man. If you are worried about climate change, then get your ass off the airplanes. It's that simple. I'm not sure who that lady is. She's been around a lot lately. Who else we got in here? We got Bridget Fedesi. Big fan of Bridget. I subscribe to her on YouTube. Not sure who that guy is. Who's that guy? That guy from Fox. Not sure who Kira Davis is. Hey, my man Viva Frey. I love Viva. I follow him. He's on here. All right. A bunch of people on here. Anyway, tons of people on here. But who is I just locked? My man, Andy Knows on here. My man, Michael Yon, I think, is on here. This guy's fantastic. Oh man, couldn't find a community. All right, it's Michael Yon. I forgot Michael. Was it Yon? Is that how you spell it? Yeah, this guy right here, Michael Yon. Yeah, come on. Anyway, this guy's fantastic. Anyway, so he can post videos, blog posts. I think this is actually going to be better than Subscribestar ultimately. But I'm not dead on Subscribestar yet. And the reason I say it because I want to see if I can post videos on there just off my phone. Like I did a great video today. It's not great, but in terms of us out there, garden update. And oh boy. So Liam's saying send pictures of the dogs now. So let me just take a picture of Finney. There we go. And Finney has kind of like cross eyes. So he's got, like kind of like this. Oh, but he's such a beautiful, beautiful boy. Anyway, Subscribestar like it. Wait, so just enough that. What was I saying? I was going to show you guys something else. Oh, that's what I was going to show you. And see, this is why I like doing my own live streams as opposed to kind of back and forth with somebody because I just go off into tangents. It drives some people crazy. I get it. So I want to, again, any Styx Hexhammer, any Anomaly fans, any Jack Spurko fans, any fans who think, and I'm not saying does Spurko think inflation is imminent? I don't know. Anyone who thinks the government printing press leads to inflation, let's take a New Zealand inflation rate hits 10 years high. Oh no! All right, but lumber extends losses to 1 year low. Okay. Anyway, I want to show you something here. What we're going to show you. Okay, good. So let's go to debt to GDP, shall we? And we're going to go again to debt to GDP. Venezuela, 350%. You could say that's the printing press. Huge inflation. What's number two? Japan? Japan is number two? What? This got to be Venezuela. No, their inflation rate's negative. Interesting. Let's go to GDP then. Highest GDP. Japan is in the top four, number 4. Inflation rate's negative. Debt to GDP is through the roof. So, and again, what that could say is the government printing machine could do what? The government printing machine could lead to deflation. I'm going to do a video. Government printing leads to deflation. That's what I'm going to do. Here's Italy. Government printing machine. And inflation in Italy is only 1.3, and the economy is kind of a basket case. Jobless rate's 10%. Inflation is only 1.3 with jobless rate 10. That's not supposed to be the case. That's not supposed to be the case. Jobless rate is supposed to be high when inflation is high. Interesting. Wait, whoa. Inflation, jobless rate, and interest rates, and inflation, all these, and in high GDP to debt. None of this is supposed to happen according to basic economics. Interesting, huh? So we can make an argument that getting the printing press going leads to deflation because of Japan. You guys tired of that yet? So let's go to debt to GDP. So these aren't, oh, by the way, this is the only argument people make. I've said this 1,000 times a Sunday. Well, the current account surplus is why Japan has no inflation. Okay. Current account surplus. Japan has no inflation. Current account surplus in Singapore. Inflation. Current account surplus in Argentina. Inflation. Current account surplus in euro. Inflation. Just the whole thing is negative. I mean, it's just we got negative. We got current account deficits in UK. Inflation. It's just people just want to pull stuff out of their butts to try to sound like they're smart, and no one knows. What I'm trying to say, no one knows nothing. However, let's go to debt to GDP. These are people who aren't getting the government printing machines on. Whoa! They're not spending like drunken sailors, and their inflation rate's high. Whoa! Not spending like drunken sailors, and they have low inflation. Whoa! Not spending like drunken sailors, and they have high inflation. You just. So we could say, not only does spending like drunken sailors lead to deflation, not spending like drunken sailors leads to inflation. Look at Russia. Look at Russia. Explain all this. Oh, by the way, current account surplus. Russia, current account surplus. Japan, current account surplus. Russia, debt to GDP is less than 20%. Japan, debt to GDP over 200%. Japan, inflation less than 1, less than 0. Russia, inflation high. Crazy. So people can, you know what people can do. They can kiss my butt. Why? Because it's all Jill, can you on locals, can people put, okay, good. Have you done any content on locals, Jill, in terms of following anybody? Like, do they just post videos directly there and stuff? You know what I'm saying? Because that was the one drawback about Subscribe Stars. I just couldn't do that. So, like my man Michael Yon, you can pay $100 a year, which I think is actually pretty cool. $100 a year, get everything he does. I think that's fantastic. I got my finances advice from his channel, Jazz Wealth, and stock trading guy. I'm not sure. Are you being facetious, Kirk? I love my man Dustin over at Jazz Wealth. I'm not sure if you're joking or not, but you can do live streams there too. Interesting. And they're posting videos that go on there. You know what I'm saying? That okay, all right. That's what about speculators like lumber, oil? Years ago, they created inflation. Yes. I mean, price maybe has something to do with it. Okay, cool. All right, that's good. 1,000 paid followers, or just 1,000 people that like Michael Yon. I think that's I love it, man. I'm a huge fan of locals. I'm a huge fan of Subscribe Star. I think the locals offers more. What's the word I'm looking for? More opportunity to get the content out. I do. I think speculators probably had something to do with it. Sure. Are the speculators not here now? I mean, are there less speculators today than there were, 10 years ago? I mean, yeah. Can speculators have some impact? Sure. But it's not like speculators are just gone. It's like what Bill O'Reilly used to freaking piss me off. He said, the oil prices are being manipulated by big oil when the price of oil is high. And I said, well, how about when they're low? What, do they just stop manipulating it, Bill? That's just idiotic stuff. Bill O'Reilly's trying so hard to be a populist, and it was embarrassingly stupid. So, like, all right, speculators create inflation. So when there's no inflation, the speculators are just all at the beach? I mean, what happened? Where do the speculators go? Stupid. I'm not saying you're a stupid, Mark. I'm just saying at the end of the day, if speculators did X and then X doesn't happen, does that mean speculators are just on vacation? Doesn't make any sense, man. Yeah, look, I'm not getting off YouTube. I love YouTube. YouTube's been great to me. Great. I have a bunch of stuff that I like to say off of YouTube that is fun because it's fun for me. Look, a lot of stuff that many on YouTube won't watch because these aren't as loyal as my Subscribe Star people. And there's just so much that here's Darwin's Doubtful System, for instance. Man, if you haven't read this book, Stephen Meyer, I would love to get the boys over at the Discovery Institute on my channel at one time. Look, I'm not going anywhere until YouTube bans me. Look, I'm a good boy. I get it. I'm a sharecropper. But I do. Someone was saying today that YouTube's going to start. There's going to be another round of bannings here. I think he's like July 27th or something like that. That's exactly it, Ron. And when they censor, it's bad. It's bad, man. And I think that I think that, and on top of that, the trolls. I mean, I don't have we get rid of them a lot, but this is the nice thing about having a subscriber thing. For just a tiny fee, you can get rid of trolls, if that makes sense. Because some of these people are idiots, man. Hold on. Yeah. Well, Rumble is. I was on Salty Cracker yesterday, And Salty Cracker had like 20,000 people on his Rumble live stream. 20,000. That's like, I mean, it's like it broke it because it went down for a little bit. Oh. Hold on a second. I'm like, dude, there's yeah. Jill and I, we agree on a lot of things, but we disagree significantly on one. As Obama was the biggest proponent of guns, Trump was the biggest proponent of the injection. And yeah, me too. That right on, Mark. That's me too, man. Rumble is good. I'm 100% right. I gotta get used to going there myself. I got the app. I just, it's funny because lately some of the people that I follow, Dave Cullen, I do like Owen Benjamin, Curtis Stone, are going on other platforms. BitChute, BitChute's tough for me. I like Rumble better, and I find myself going on YouTube less and less. I'm still on YouTube a lot, but I'm going on podcasts. You know, for I listen to the No Agenda podcast, Jack Spirko, the Survival podcast. I listen to the Dave Rubin podcast, and then Brett Weinstein. I like that. A couple of Bridget Fedesi, her podcast. So I find myself on podcast, BitChute for a couple guys, Rumble for a couple guys, and YouTube is more and more becoming less, if that makes sense. Now, still by far and away my primary source of information. Don't get me wrong, but slowly it's coming less, if that makes sense. It sticks right on. Me too for sticks. Yep. No, they don't. They banned 80s music, Jeremy. Politics is a loser. I don't even know what that means. Oh, Salty Cracker. That guy cracks me up, man. I love Salty Cracker. Let's see. We talk about that. Okay, let's see. A jobless rate doesn't mean much anymore. 100%. And you got the Las Vegas Knights in there. And on top of that, do you really trust the government numbers? You can't. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, I mean, come on. Joe Biden is in charge of the largest jobs in the history of mankind, according to government. Fidel Castro has led to free healthcare, and everyone can read in Cuba. Okay, yay, Cuba! It's just freaking nuts, man. On top of that, the Potemkin villages that all of our great leaders went to in Soviet Russia, it's the land of milk and honey. Yeah, right. I mean, right, do you think that's going to matter? I don't know. It's not going to matter. Is it going to change much? I mean, you know, they're. See, here's another thing about Trump. Trump wanted rates to be zero. All right. You know, the Fed fought back against it a little bit, but I mean, do you think if Biden gets a big lib in there, it's going to change much? It's not. It's not. I think a video on deflation with a detailed explanation of what it means to the average American in the country. Well, it's with photos and examples. Oh man, now you want me to do work, Mark? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Can we all agree though? The Great Depression. Yes, there were breadlines. Yes, there was high unemployment. Yes, that's all true. Can we all admit though, the vast majority of Americans weren't starving to death. The vast majority of Americans still had a job. And the vast majority of Americans still did not go to breadlines. I'm sorry, they just did not. So the Great Depression was bad. I'm telling you, yes, it was. There are people in Oklahoma. There are people who had no food. You know who had food? Well, the people who could grow their own food. The best way to fight against inflation is what? To create your own electricity. That's why I'm all about solar on the individual level. As long as you got battery back, you know, you don't want to be grid tied. You want to have a transfer switch. And I don't have solar right now. I will. I'm telling you right now. But getting solar PV, photovoltaic, absolutely makes sense. Absolutely makes sense. 100% for electricity that you can self-generate. You got to have a battery bank. if you're grid tied and the grid goes down, your solar doesn't do crap for you. Grid tied is bad. Grid tied with a transfer switch, which you can charge your battery banks and use your batteries when the grid is down, is fine. That's a good investment. That's a great way to deal with inflation. So you have your own electricity. You have a well, and I don't have a well. You gotta have to have a way to get water, man. You see what I'm saying? You got to have food. I mean, it doesn't have to be much. For heaven's sake, just go back to my book here. She was talking about they didn't eat meat that much. Sorry, buddy. Let's see if I can find this. 139. Hold on just a second. They didn't have much meat. And the reason they didn't have much meat in the wintertime because there was no farming going on because it's so doggone cold. So you can survive on potatoes. You can survive on things that you can store in the wintertime. Or you can just grow your own. I mean, this is a fact of life, man. It's a fact. So if you're worried about inflation, learn how to grow your own food. I mean, it doesn't have to be fancy schmancy, good time rock and roll. Just have to have something, or learn or find a local guy who does beef. Like I met a guy at the farmer's market. I'm going to buy half a cow. I met another guy. I'll buy another half a cow if he ever texts me back. So, I mean, these are all things you can do to fight inflation is to be more a little bit self-productive. If you're always relying on the grocery store, inflation kicks in, you're screwed. And look, I don't have solar. I don't have a well. I don't grow that much food. I'll tell you, I'm learning. You know what I'm saying? I plant trees. Planting a tree is the best thing you can do. The best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago. The next best time is today. So plant your freaking trees, man. Go to Bob Wells Nursery. Big fan of Bob Wells Nursery in Medina, Medio, I can't remember, it's Texas. Bob Wells Nursery. Every tree I got from his has been a winner for me, for sure. So Bob Wells Nursery. All right, let's see. Yep, I get right on. There you go, Doug. The potato, yeah, my man LDS Prepper talks about the potato diet. I've heard good things. I haven't done it. I've heard good things about it, man. I tell you, dude, I'm going to do this video on this right here. I'm a huge fan of this. I think about this all the time, JJ. So if I could find right here, I want to get this guy on this is Fundrise. It's investing in real estate it's almost like being a limited partner, I guess. All right. So they're doing that. That's fine. I got no problem with that. There was another one that I had on here. I don't know how it works, but I'm interested in this. I don't like the fact they're in DC. That bothers me. I don't like that. That means they're too close to the cabal, which I don't like. But anyway, it's interesting. So I'm looking. There's another one I had on here that I want to. So I'm gonna find. So let's look at investments here. Account levels. Okay. So basic. Get started with simple real estate portfolio, $1,000. Get a well-rounded portfolio that's aligned with your goals. Advance. Let me just tell you real quick, guys. I'm gonna do a couple videos on real estate. I think a lot of people think I'm down on real estate. I'm absolutely not at all. I was talking to a guy today. This is one of the best things about being a financial planner is I get to see real world people doing real world stuff. So who was I talking to this morning? Yeah, okay, that's what it was. They bought it for the wrong reason. They bought these rental, one's a condo, one's I think it's a townhouse or house, for taxes. They thought they could take all these tax write-offs. I said, they said they could take these tax write-offs of rental. I said, anyway, so it turned out that was not right. Long story short, check this out. They bought one property for $71,000. They're getting $750 a month for it right now. All right. So now check this out. Now it's not clear. It's not free and clear. There is still $50,000 mortgage, but their rent is paying the mortgage, paying they got a property manager too, and they're probably walking away with $1,000 a year profit. Not much, but when that mortgage is paid off, $750 a month times 12 divided by their costs, $71,000. That's a 12.6 return. If you look at like a dividend, which you should, a dividend stock or bond, but it's not even a fixed income. It has the potential to go up as inflation goes up. I sit there and I say, okay, Now they don't have it in they need to get an umbrella policy, or they need to put in LLCs. I said, they have it sole proprietor. There's not a sole proprietor. They just own it jointly. I said, that kind of frightening. Anyway, so I told them, make sure you get those properties in LLCs, or just get an umbrella policy, because you don't want to be subject to liability. Anyway, long story short, they thought about selling it because they said we couldn't take the tax write-offs we thought. I was like, wait. This you're getting a mortgage paid for with no risk to you other than, you got a property manager. You're not going there to fix the toilet. Yeah, why? You just keep it. So the mortgage we paid off right around when he retires. I think 6 years from now or something like that. I can't remember. But when he retires, that mortgage will be paid by the tenants, and he's going to net $750 a month on a $70,000 investment, potentially for the rest of his life. Potentially more. Now, could the real estate go down a pot if freaking MS-13 moves in? Yeah, that's a risk. Could a dividend stock go to pot if a crackhead takes over the company? What's that lady's name? Thanos or whatever the hell it's called? Yeah, absolutely. That blonde head lady that everyone's sweating, and then she turned out to be a faker. Yeah, this is the risk of stocks. Could a bond go freaking, the inflation kill you because a bond's a fixed income? Yeah, all risks. Do people need a place to live? Yes, they do. They need a place to live, shelter, food, and water. And then he bought another one too, and he's getting off that. I forgot what he's getting off that, but another, $1,300 or something like that. And again, it has a mortgage on it. He's paying the mortgage. So between his two rentals, he's netting about $200 a month. Not a great amount yet, but by the time he retires, one will be paid, and in a couple of years, the other one will be paid. Plus his Social Security when he takes it, plus his wife's Social Security when she takes it. I'm like, that's not a bad deal, man. That's not a bad deal. A couple $1,000 in rent, a couple $1,000 on Social Security for you, another $1,500 for spousey. That's what, $5,500 a month? That's $66,000 a year without even tapping into your portfolio. They only have $315,000 in a portfolio. 5% on $315,000, was that $15,000 a year? They're living off $81,000 a year. Take a reverse mortgage. They're not going to leave any money to kids. Take reverse mortgage against the house. It's another, I don't know what it is, $500,000 a month. Anyway, that's nuts to me. I'm like, that's a good deal. That's a good deal. Diversification gives you longevity. They're not building. I mean, I'm telling you, man. I mean, even though the population is declining, it's still growing, just growing at a lower rate. So it's decelerating. There's still people need a place to live, for heaven's sake, man. You see what I'm saying? Like, you only got 71,000 in that property. Anyway, I'm a big fan. All right, so I thought about this. For me, I'm like, what if I bought a piece of land and just put a bunch of freaking fruit trees on there? You know what I'm saying? Dude, there are some freaking serious places in Missouri. So when I went out to my farming boot camp with Mittlider Gardening, growfood.com in Northwest Missouri. Hey, Missouri is freaking awesome. Missouri is awesome. I love Missouri. It's just fantastic. It's a lot. I was surprised how much I love Missouri, and that you can buy some. Man, you can buy some places to live out there for cheap on acreage with just wonderful salt the earth people. Oh man, right wingers too, man. Other than St. Louis, Missouri is controlled by right wingers. There's some Mormons. I'm not LDS, but there's some Mormons out there. There's just, there's some good righteous people out there, Christian. Yeah, obviously Kansas City is kind of uppity, but other than that, there's a lot going on for Missouri. Big fan. I like the East Coast, so I won't go out there, but at the end of the day, I was looking at property when I was out there. I said, just kind of spoken around. You could buy this one, it's like a 3-bed, 2-bed ranch house, 2,000 square foot, 3 acres, had a well in there already. I was like, man, in Cameron, Missouri, that's where that town was. I said, dude, this is freaking killer. Everybody's got guns. Everyone's got cows. It's fantastic. I'm a big fan. So I would do that. 100%, I'd do that. I think about that all the time. Like, I don't have faith in the U.S. stock market. It doesn't mean I'm getting out. I just don't have faith in the companies to maximize profits. I don't Doesn't mean they won't make money. Under fascism, companies make money. It's just a fact. And we are going to a more fascist state. That's a fact. And companies will still make money. So I'll still be invested. But I started saying maybe it is not a bad idea to swing. And so this is what I was telling these people today when I was doing their plan. I said, basically, you got three sources of income, a 3-bucket portfolio, essentially. They got their rental real estate here and Social Security. Wait, did I say that? Was I saying Social Security, rental real estate, and then they got their stocks? That's what it was. So basically we had three. We had Social Security, rental real estate, and then they got their stocks. You see what I'm saying? I said, man, that's tough to beat. Tough to beat. That's a tough portfolio to beat. Now they only have $315,000 in investable assets. Okay, I'd rather be there than a guy with $1 million and no rental real estate, all in stocks, if that makes sense, because you have no diversification. I think diversifying it makes sense. Have people been burned on rental real estate? Yeah, if they're leveraged to the hill, don't leverage to the hill. Leverage is what causes bankruptcy. Thus, you don't want to go bankrupt, don't be leveraged, i.e. don't take debt. Crazy. I love this. I love Midwest. I think it's fantastic. I think the Midwest can be booming. I do. I think maybe it's just the people I follow, but I think there's a renaissance coming, man. I do. And that's why I'm excited. Look, at the end of the day, this is one of the best things that happened with Trump losing. It got a lot of people like me to say, okay, we're going to have to take care of it ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And when I mean take care of ourselves, we're not freaking going to DC. Just means take care of your own. Same group preference, buy from those who live like you. Has nothing to do with skin color. And for me as Christian, I do, follow. I'm a big fan of Jesus. First time, long time. But at the end of the day, my preference is to do business with Christians. Absolutely. Same group preference, man. Do it. And you find people, same group preference. You develop a community. You buy from each other. You just say, we're going to get in charge of the local school district somehow. And, whatever DC does, they can kiss my butt. You see what I'm saying? All right. Oh, well, I agree with that. One man can't fight the. I agree with that, Jill. 100%. All right. For some reason, I can't get to the new comments. Okay. Okay, there we go. Yeah, Nebraska property taxes are insane. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of state and property taxes in the Midwest. But man, if you're not making that much money, see, it's the thing. I was talking to a guy in Maryland yesterday. I've got a number of clients in Maryland, which is odd because I find it interesting. At the end of the day, if you don't make that much money, there isn't a big tax hit. It's just not. Like Maryland has other issues, I grant you. But I was just talking to this guy. I said, Maryland is such a freaking beautiful state. Maryland is like the best state, except for the politics. But if you're out in a more conservative place, you're left alone. Yeah, you bet a little bit higher property tax, a little bit higher income tax. Income tax aren't that big of a concern, man. If you're on a Social Security, I think I did the video where I was showing you guys people making $80,000 a year not paying any taxes because the bulk was from Social Security. So if you got $50,000 a year from Social Security, $30,000 from hopefully non-IRA accounts, you're not paying any taxes, man. If it's from an IRA, you're paying a little bit, but it ain't much. I'm sitting there thinking, if you can why can't you live off $80,000 a year? I guarantee you can. So you're like, I got $80,000 a year, $50,000 from Social Security, $30,000 from investment portfolio. You're doing fine. There's no taxes, even in Maryland, even in California. The property tax is different, but I mean, I don't need this big freaking house when the kitties are gone. It's just me and Shar and the puppies. What we want to do is, she was actually saying maybe we could take in more dogs. Exactly. Go out more. 3-bed, 2-bath, ranch or something like that. We got to have a mass on the first floor and the wash and dry on the first floor. Big yard, fenced backyard, take some dogs in. They're not going to kill you on property taxes there. You see what I'm saying? Because taxes are county specific. If you're in Northern Virginia, you're going to get killed. If you're in Rockingham County, you don't get killed. And that's in Virginia, by the way. Maine's great. Oh, well, dude, Maine is number one in my heart. Absolutely. Dude, Maryland is But crabs beat lobsters 100 times out of 100. Man, there ain't nothing like crabs, dude. Lobsters, man, they never did much for me, but crabs, I could eat the hell out of some crabs, man. Maine is part of Canada. It's true. It is true. That's why I say house and out. If you watch my man Curtis Stone for the Urban Farmer, when he starts talking about something, he's from Canada. You're like, damn, that guy's got a deep accent. Yeah. Well, Indiana. Yeah. Well, Jill, you also got a pension. Indiana is not good for taxes, but I mean, I'm sorry. At the end of the day, you're not. And I'm at the end of the day, $3,800 in property taxes. That's not low, but that's not significantly high. It's not huge relative to what some other people. I hate to do relative, but at the end of the day, that's doable. Right here, exactly. Food prices are always low. Yeah, exactly. So there's always an offset. Now, for me, I don't want to live in a place that doesn't respect my Second Amendment rights, so they can all kiss my butt. So I will not live in Maryland. Maine concerns me because there's a lot of rural Mainers that are basically Yankee rednecks, but they're getting dwarfed by all the clowns, the rich boys, the soy boys in Portland. But at the end of the day, you just lose your firearms in a boating accident and all's good. No sheriff in Aroostook County is coming to freaking confiscate your firearms. Just not going to happen. Yeah, well, Chicago's a basket case, man. Literally, who wants to live in Chicago? Not me. All right, so this guy, teach me no. All right, I am in Georgia. Teach me no. I'm in Georgia. My heart's in Texas, right on me. You got to get out of Seattle, man. Seattle, clam chowder, right on. Oh, man. I'm hoping Bill Paxton and the AG in Texas runs. That guy's fantastic. He was Trump. Rush, RIP, was talking about DeSantis and Bill Paxton in Texas before they were cool. That's fantastic. Yeah, Illinois is. I mean, you gotta get out of Illinois, man. Nuts. Yeah, I tell you, man. Missouri is fantastic. Some guy one of my clients a couple weeks ago was saying that Missouri Arkansas corridor right there. What is the town? Like where that Walmart is, but it's not that Walmart. I forgot the town in Arkansas. I forgot what he said, but it's like Northwest Arkansas. That part, he said, dude, he goes, that's the best place in America. And I think he was like, he did a lot of traveling. So, yeah, we'll see. I'll see. I at the end of the day, I like Christie. Christie, it pissed me off about the NCAA, but I'm willing to override that. I like Christie. I'm a fan. Whatever. I mean, I'm a fan. I think she's all right by me. Yeah. Buy a trailer park. Dude, I told you my story. I helped a guy when I lived in Western Virginia. He was he was white trash you've ever seen it, and he owned a couple trailer parks, and this guy was raking in the money. I was his banker, and he was making a hell of a lot more than I was. And I told him, I said, his name Mike. I said, Mike, I need some money. He goes, well, come on out. You can put the skirts on. A bunch of single trailers. That's it. And I said, okay, again, it's freaking hard labor, man. He paid me $10, $15 an hour, fed me, you know what I'm saying? He grew a garden. He had we went out, put the skirts on his trailer. And, he did that a couple of times, once every couple of years. That's it. And he gave me, probably $150. I was exhausted by the end of the day, but that dude was rolling in it. He lived in one trailer on his park, he and his wife or girlfriend, I think, on the park. He had like 8, 9, 10 units, making like $600 a pop. Crazy. All right. That's kind of what exactly. Rentals purchased correctly would be advantageous to bond funds. Look, I'm not an expert on this. I just know I was talking to this guy. I said, wait, let's back this up here, man. You got $71,000 in, you're making $750 a month. It's paying for the equity, it's paying for the property tax or the mortgage, it's paying for everything. You're still walking with $100 a month, and that debt would be paid off in 5 years. And that's $750 a month today. Yeah, well, that's right. 100% Social Securities, bonds, stocks, 100%. I don't have any problem with that. Exactly. Yeah, I tell you, man. Oh, 100%, Joe, because that's how the teeth. It's all fixed. It's all fixed. I argue weekly with my finance guy. No, that's not necessarily a bad thing. You know, make him justify what the hell he's talking about. Nancy, well, this guy sings the praises of Arkansas. What I call Arkansas, he loves it. He says it's the Ozarks. It was the Ozarks that way, but San Francisco Bay. Hey, Mark, look at retired Boise or Reno, but the property, 100%, man. You're not the only one, Mark. You're not the only one. My man Bry on here, Big Lib. He moved from San Francisco Bay to Reno. I said, "What are you doing? You voted for all that crap. Why'd you move?" He just, via YouTube shrugged. Cheaper. I said, "You leave your politics?" And he chuckled and said, "No." I said, I bet he did. I bet he did leave his politics. He is funny because, by the way, for the love of the good Lord, before we all say, I said this, and I'll say it again, then we'll get out of here because I got to get my dogs out. All right. There are more voters for Trump in California than voters for Trump in Texas. Let that sink in. Yeah, exactly, James. I've been wondering that. Condos will start coming down in price because of climate change. There are more voters for Trump in California than voters for Trump in Texas. Thus, when people flee California to Texas and Idaho and Georgia and wherever, if they voted for Trump, they're not voting for left-wingers in Texas and Idaho and Georgia, if that makes sense. I'm telling you, they're not leaving California to turn around and vote what they fled from. Are there some libs? And this is the problem that a lot of these Southern governors are doing, man, is that they're saying, we want to bring in all these companies from New York and Boston and California. Those companies are different because those companies relocate people who did not. Well, that's right. I know you're trying to be facetious. California has a much larger population. But when people say all these Californians are moving into Idaho and Texas, they're going to make it blue, I say no. That's exactly right. Get out of California and take your Trump with you. And you can make these other states more red. More red. That's it. Exactly. I'm telling you, man, the way to do it is you flee one by one by one and then leave California as a crap show it is and then make Missouri more red. Don't forget, Missouri went for Clinton. Indiana went for Obama. Make these places more red. Come to Georgia, make it more red. Come to Texas, make it more red. I'm telling you, man, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. There's so many freaking Trumpsters in California who are fleeing. If you see a California license plate and they're older people, I would suggest you assume they're Trumpsters and then say, hey, the welcome wagon, welcome. You're in freedom now. I'm telling you, the drawback is these big companies that move to Nashville and Atlanta because they relocate their liberals from New York and Boston. And that's those people didn't do it voluntarily. They did it for their job. But Mark and all these other guys, who left California on their own are taking their politics with them, which is good. The people who left because their company are taking their politics with them, which is why they're in New York to begin with, because they're libs. You see what I'm saying? Exactly. See, do we have evidence of that? Florida is now more right-wing, right? Ohio, Indiana, Florida. These states used to be on the bubble. They're not. So, I mean, Florida's still on the bubble, but Ohio and Indiana are not. Ohio is red. Missouri is red. Do you not remember Dick Gephardt? Now, he was the House Majority Leader for the Democrats But he was from Missouri. And Missouri was, Missouri had that idiot John, who was the other clown? Not Ashcroft, the guy with, oh, God, some Danforth. Oh, horrible. Anyway, so those guys aren't. We got Josh Hawley now. You see what I'm saying? We're going to get rid of freaking Warnock next year. Get Herschel Walker in there. Florida's got DeSantis and Rick Scott now. They don't have Ben Nelson. They don't have. I guess Ben Nelson was governor too. They don't. Charlie Crist. And the guy's an idiot, man. I know he's a congressman, but whatever. He used to be governor. You know what I'm saying? All these guys are gone. We got Rubio. Rubio is a liberal of them, of DeSantis, Rick Scott, and Rubio. And Rubio was on the freaking in 2010. He's a guy who ran against Charlie Crist. And everyone's like, oh, no, we can't have a rebel. And he took out Charlie Crist. It was awesome in the primary. Yeah, Rubio is a little bit too for Rubio, but he's still a pretty righteous dude, man. You know what I'm saying? Relatively speaking. I don't want him president, but, I'm a fan of Rubio. Anyway, Florida is a lot more right than a lot of people are making it. Ohio and Indiana are gone. Missouri are gone for us. They keep talking about, dude, I lived in Texas in 2008, and there's a guy named Rick, Spanish last name, who was going to take over Texas and make Texas blue. He didn't come close. No one's come close since Beto, and Beto was an off-year election, man. It's just Beto he still lost by 3 or 5. It really wasn't that close. It wasn't that close. Ted Cruz did piss me off the other day when he posted, vaccinated people should not be having to wear masks on planes. I don't get this Republican, what this infatuation with vaxxers are. It's the weirdest thing. I think I do. We know why Republican population or politicians are knee-deep loving on the vax. We know why. Why? Why do you think they are? Who wants to take a guess why I didn't say Maine is red. I never said that, man. But they did have Paul LePage. But I never said Maine. But they had Paul LePage because there's a split between the Democrats. So, but I'm a big fan of Paul LePage. Oh, yeah. No, I know. Well, Mike DeWine is an idiot. I get it. 100%. I mean, but the older guys are going to go, and they're going to be replaced by the Thomas Masseys of the world, the Kentucky, libertarian Republicans. Is good. I mean, Mike DeWine's a clown. Yeah, but why money? I get his money, but why? What? Okay, that's fine, Q Humor. So Republican politicians are big on vax because of money. Explain, Q Humor. It's money, but why? What do you mean by that? Indiana, very red. And and Mike Braun made some mistakes. It seems like he's kind of cut back down a little bit. He was doing some bad stuff initially, but yes, exactly, man. Hi, you fellow kids. He's like, hi, you fellow Spanish people. Republicans, big pharma. James comes through again. James in Florida comes through. Man, I love that. Hi, you fellow kids. That is so funny, man. I love it. That's Beto's 100%. Yep, 100%. The Republicans get paid by big pharma. The Republicans got paid by big housing, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. The Republicans get paid, and they say, I will suck at the teat of the big cabal as long as I get paid. And that's my concern with Marco Rubio. This guy, he wants to get paid. Look, I get it, man. I mean, I get it. If you're born and raised poor, you're like, man, I need some money. But at the end of the day, we're always going to have that. You're going to have grifters. The Dems got grifters. But I think seems like I'm just optimistic. Again, that doesn't mean I'm 100% optimistic for the stock market. I just want to be clear. I think if you haven't taken gains, you don't have cash on the side, you're making a mistake. But why do we make excuses for Trump? Trump allowed it to happen. That's what I don't understand, man. Personnel is policy. Trump is the guy who allowed freaking Mike Pence to run rampant with Fauci and freaking Birx. Pfizer, I'm a libertarian with a low L. I'm not a big L libertarian. I've always said, legalize all drugs. You mean even heroin? Yes, even heroin. Legalize them all. Legalize all firearms. You mean even 50 cows? Yes, I mean even 50 cows. Legalize everything. Anytime someone says, we need a law, I say, no, we have enough laws on the books. We don't need another law. I'm 100% pro-life. All right, 100% pro-life. No. Do I think women who have an abortion should go to jail? No, that's dumb. But I do think at the end of the day, abortion is bad, and it'd be nice if the fetuses could speak, because that is a body in there. We all know this. This isn't rocket science. Absolutely. 100% pro Second Amendment, 100% pro legalization of all drugs, 100% anti-abortion. I like safety nets, not going to lie to you. I mean, I do. That's my populism kicking in. I can overcome with a little bit of taxes. I mean, I don't like the whole thing. Taxes are the price to pay for a civilized society. We'll explain Chicago then, FDR, whoever the hell said that. If taxes are the price to pay for a civilized society, how's Chicago? That should be very civilized, you freaking fools on the left. But at the end of the day, a little bit of taxes don't bother me. I think the Republicans made a huge, and John McCain, to his credit, said this. He said, look, we got to stop this tax thing, because only half the country pays taxes anymore, because of, basically if you're making less than $60,000 a year, you're basically not paying taxes other than FICA. And I'm using that for an example. He says, so stop it. Tax cuts don't affect middle-class people. So we got to start doing something. And he said that like in the early 2000s, maybe in the 2000 campaign. I didn't agree with it then, and I agree with it now, 100%. Stop defending the tax cuts on the rich. So yeah, the rich are not our people. The rich are not our people, man. When I say the rich, I'm talking the Bill Gateses, the Warren Buffetts. Get rid of all charitable deductions. Get rid of them. They're nothing but a freaking scam for rich people to fund left-wing organizations, NGOs, non-government organizations. Get rid of all the charitable deductions. I'm sorry. If you're a man of Christ and you only need a charitable deduction, that's the only reason you donate, that's not very good. You should donate regardless of the charitable deduction. If the charitable deduction is what making you donate, you got to revisit this, my friends. All right. Yep. All right. I completely agree with that. I 100%. He got screwed by Paul Ryan. I think McConnell was a little bit better. I think there's some stuff McConnell did that was bad. At the end of the day, McConnell saved the Supreme Court. So I know McConnell is kind of a clown, but I will always give McConnell props because he stopped Merrick Garland from getting on Supreme Court. And at the end of the day, as much as Kavanaugh sucks and freaking Amy Coney Barrett sucks and Gorsuch is good, Roberts sucks, all these guys suck, they are better than any of the Merrick Garlands of the world. Just FYI. They are better than freaking the guy Bush put on there from New Hampshire, Souter. Oh, so it wasn't perfect. It was good, but McConnell was good. Ryan didn't do anything. Ryan can kiss my butt. McConnell, though, he threw in. He said, look, we are taking a gamble. And finally, the Republican gambled, and we won. It's crazy. It's crazy. That gamble paid off. All right. I'm going to get out of here, my friends. I will probably take this down. ADF, donate to ADF in particularly. Yep, right there. Alliance Defending Freedom is huge. Institute for Justice should be IJ on there, ij.org. I like Judicial Watch. Not sure what FPC is. ADF, obviously Second Amendment, Gun Owners America, 100%. Heritage Foundation is pretty good. I'm pretty good with the Heritage Foundation. Yeah. Mises Institute. They're fighting libertarians because the Libertarian Party, believe it or not, threw in with the BLM and the group. And Dave Smith is running a Mises caucus to try to take over the Libertarian Party so they get rid of these clowns from BLM to fight back. Because a lot of libertarians are rich white people in the Northeast who never met a black person. And so because of that, they're like, I need to show that I like black people because I have none in my life. So BLM, yay, BLM, Black Power. And real libertarians, the little L libertarians said, this is idiotic. Stop that. You're just being an idiot. You're being a racist idiot. And so the Dave Smiths and the Michael Malices of the world are trying to take over the libertarians, which I 100% love. To get rid of the clowns, the woke libertarians who just like, I don't want to be called racist. Because, again, if you're from the Northeast and you've been wealthy white boy, the one thing you cannot stand to be called is a racist. That is like you live in fear of being called a racist. Thus, you will do whatever it takes not to be called a racist, even if you're a libertarian. And what you're going to do to show your libertarian street cred with your blacks is you're going to say, look, we don't like the cops either. Yeah, because the cops are brutal. And I say, well, yeah, yeah, there are some bad cops. There are also lots of bad military people. There's all kinds of bad people. They come in all kinds of bunches. The vast majority of cops are good people, man. Stop it. And when libertarians try to throw in the black BLM people and say, we don't like the cops either, you should give us a pat on the back and say you're an ally. I don't understand what it is with these white people who just need the blacks to pat them on the back and say, oh, we do like you. There's this weird thing, these woke whites from the Northeast, because they just don't know any black people. And so to have a black person say, we respect you, you're one of us, it's like, oh, they like me. They like me. And then they get to go around and say, I have black friends. Yay. With all their white friends and, Harvard and stuff. It's the weirdest thing, man. It's embarrassing. And yet libertarians fall for that too. Because again, most libertarians are well-to-do, highly educated, upper middle class, Northeastern types. And a lot of them never worked a real day in their life. They're highly look, I love libertarian principles. The Libertarian Party, no. Libertarian principles I love. A lot of these guys never picked up a shovel. Yes, am I being, what's the word, throwing the baby out with the bathwater? Yes. I've been to many conferences of libertarians. Trust me on this. Trust me on this. They're highly educated, wonderful people. They love to read. They're intellectuals. They've never dug a ditch. They've never pulled poop from, or burned poop in the military. And as such, they don't have a real world view of things. They have a book view. Nothing wrong with that. But people like Mike Malice, Dave Smith, and all these other guys have a real world view, and they combine a libertarian / Austrian economics with real world view. It's a powerful, powerful mix. But when you only have the bookworms who read books like this, which I love, that's fantastic. And to read books like this, that's fantastic. But you also have to go out there and talk to real live people. And as long as the libertarians are just basing the fanciful world of college, ain't gonna happen. All right. Yes. Harry Brown, voted for him in 96, by the way. Had a Harry Brown for president t-shirt. Harry Brown voted for him in 1996. So put down your pipe and smoke it. And those who say, oh, you're not libertarian anymore because you're okay with tax hikes on the rich. Yeah. Who voted for Harry Brown? Who had a Harry Brown for president t-shirt? Who campaigned for him? It was this guy. Yeah. All right. By the way, I did the same for Pat Buchanan in 1992. I was part of the Buchanan Brigades, 100%. Oh my goodness, I was a racist then. No, because I'm a populist libertarian, which is what a lot of people should be if they thought about it. Populism and libertarian combined, a lot of wonderful stuff in there. All right, amigos, I can get out of here, man. And we'll see you guys. God bless. And thanks for being here, man. All right.